Hello, Faylite. Hi, everyone. All right, how are you guys all doing? Hey, Simi. Did you literally just hop over? Hi, Pluto. Hi, everyone. All right, well, shit. Hi, everyone. This is gonna be a crazy exciting stream. Because you guys are here for my. Well, hold on. I gotta fix this fucking sub goal. God's sake. It's always a pain. Life is pain. Stream elements, come help me. We are gonna be doing our first ever giveaway here. And you guys are here first for it. I don't know if you all want PAX U badges, but I got 5 PAX U badges to give out. No purchase necessary. Just gotta, at some point in the next 2 hours, just drop in like I think you just have to write unplugged badge somewhere in chat. It doesn't even have to be its own isolated thing. You just type it in somewhere and then it happens. Hopefully. Maybe? Someone's got to test it for me, because I don't know. Hi, Random Assin. Hello, KJ Nelson. Oh my gosh. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, Paige. Yes, so essentially, as long as you type unplugged badge, it doesn't even have to be all caps, you can enter to win a badge. The moderator will delete your message, just so that way it doesn't spam everyone. Don't worry about that. And then it should also whisper you to let you know that you have entered to win. And then at the end of this 2-hour stream, and we might go on after the 2 hours, you know, depending on how hyped I get. I do also have a drink with me, so I've got the energy for it. But we'll pick 5 winners, and 5 people will get free 3-day badges. This is like an $85 value, 3-day badges, the whole thing, to go to PAX Unplugged. Paige says this will let me know if I need to buy one Friday or not. Yeah, valid. But yeah, and then also if you're hanging out over on TikTok, unfortunately, the only way to enter is over on Twitch, because I can't run giveaways through TikTok. So Airok Easy and Josiah says, what are those? So essentially, PAX Unplugged, awesome gaming convention, kind of like Gen Con. Feliz Navidad, hello, welcome. And also Maria Noe, thank you so much for the follow. But it's like a little tabletop gaming convention that's December 1st through 3rd. And maybe I should put that info up. You do have to be in Twitch, and you just have to type in one thing to win. And I believe you also don't have to be here for like the full stream if you don't want to, but of course, I would appreciate it. I just like lowering barriers to gaming and gaming events and things like this, so I'm here to help out. You guys don't have to buy anything, you just have to be a follower, so that way you can type in chat, because it's locked behind that. But beyond that, you just have to type in unplugged badge once, and then you'll be entered. If you entered more times, it won't work, so don't bother. And then also you won't see it show up in chat, but the bot should whisper to you and be like, hey, you're in. It shouldn't be case sensitive. Somebody's saying it might have to be all uppercase. I don't think so. But yeah, it's out in Philly. It's December 1st through 3rd. And then I'm gonna be there along with some of your other favorite creators. So even in just my house that I'm staying in, it's myself, Paige, who's here as Pluto Cleric, recovering academic, whose real name is Forrest, recovering academic's partner, Vesnuvian Vixen, also known as Vix, and their partner Sean, Endeavorance, and their partner. So we got like 6 people hanging out in one house, and then beyond that, we've also got Alec the Bard, Hamasamakun, D&D Imposter, who I know for sure. I believe Marcus Territory might be going. There's a bunch of people. Basically, all the major names from like Gen Con and stuff were all gonna be there. Someone's saying, are these virtual tickets? They are. The tickets are virtual, and then the badges themselves. Essentially what's gonna happen is if you get picked, I will ask you to message me your first and last name and an email address. And then I'm just gonna hand that off to the PAX Unplugged people. I won't have your personal info outside of your like email address and last name if you care about that, but obviously I'm not gonna do anything with it. And then yeah, PAX Unplugged is going to reach out to you and then confirm your badge. And then I don't actually know how you're going to get it. I believe they'll mail it to you at some point. I haven't gotten mine yet, and I got a creator badge. So it's like TBD how they're actually getting it to us. But Valiant VG70, thank you so much for following. Welcome. But yeah, and then of course I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be seeing you all. I'm very, very excited to see you guys. I remember meeting a couple of you guys at Gen Con, and everyone who came up was just so fucking cool and so nice. Boy, Josiah, thank you so much for the follow. Fenrir Sarkis says, I don't know if I should trust you with that much info. It's up to you. I guarantee I'll purge it from my memory right afterwards. Not out of any intentional thing, mostly just because I have a shit memory. Tamarathon says it was express mailed every other time I've gone. Yeah, so I believe Will Call is just for international people at this point, and so they'll just like mail it to you ahead of the con. I haven't gotten mine yet. So, oh, Fenrir Starker says, aren't you an organ too? You might stalk me. I promise you, I have better things to do than to stalk my fans, my followers. Daddy Tarzan says, what's good? Hello. And then the Sir James 24 on TikTok says, hi, Diana, you're so awesome. Thank you for being you. Thank you for coming in and supporting me, you guys. I also realized too, Valiant VG70 says, thank you, I just spent the weekend at PAX Australia, which was pretty sick. I'm sure Unplugged will be great. Yeah, so just bear in mind, this doesn't cover like hotel or transportation or anything. It's just a 3-day badge. So just keep that in mind. You still have to deal with, if you can't like reasonably get to Philly on December 1st through 3rd and whatnot, I cannot help you with that, unfortunately. But if you are planning on going or you have a way to get out there, absolutely super stoked to see you guys. XYZ Warrior says hello, saying what's up. And Orsak just gifted a sub to XYZ Warrior 999. Thank you so much, Orsak. I hope you're doing better, buddy. Turfinator says cons are sweet to go to if you haven't been. Orsak, hi, hello. Orsak, I also love how you're not subbed yourself. Do you, let me see if I can get you one. You say you're in Florida. Oh, solid. Yeah, awesome. But yeah, any of you guys who are hanging out in TikTok, hop over to Twitch. That's where the actual giveaway is happening. And I'm sure TikTok is going to start suppressing my live here in a sec, since I'm telling people to go to a different platform, and TikTok fucking hates that. But in any case, yeah. Definitely want to do that. My activity feed's also fucking broken again. Oh my god. That's okay. That's unfixable. Simi says Gen Con was crazy as the first con to go to, and now PAX U by myself. Yeah, so I'm in the same boat. Except for I don't recommend going to any con by yourself necessarily, unless you like pack your schedule full of things that you want to do. For me, I'm like emptying my schedule of panels and things like that. I might go to the keynote speech by Mercer, just for funsies, just for support. But like, I don't want to stand in crowded rooms for too long, and a lot of us just kind of do something that's on the influencer side. We just hang out and we party, play games and stuff, which is just so much fun. It's just an excuse to see our friends again, really, because so many of us have just like these little online friends that we never get to see much. Also, DK stands for Donkey Kong, and Valiant just subscribed. Thank you to Orsak again. Amazing work. Orsak, I'm gonna see if I can get you like a free sub on my end, because you've done enough for my community at this point that I'm gonna see if that's like something I can do from the moderation panel or some such. No. Oh, maybe? No. I can't. Shit. Alright, well, I appreciate it immensely. I hope someone pays it forward to you in turn, so that way you don't have to sit through the ads and whatnot. Misty Pavao says hello, hi. What was I saying earlier? So I had a video that I'm super actually really fucking proud of today, that is in the process of not going viral, but definitely doing a lot better than most videos do at this point, in like the posting. It was the video where I was talking about like, you know, people who create entwined backstories with each other and can, like, I guess like kind of double cross each other a little bit. So for instance, if you and a friend get together and you create an entwined backstory, and you go up to your DM and like you're like, hey, we want our backstory to be that we are twins, you know, we are twin brothers, and we were separated at birth but recently got together at the age of 10 and have been adventuring together ever since. That's really cool. What's even more fun if one of those people then goes off and then goes up to the DM privately and is like, listen, DM, I know they said that we are brothers and all that, but really what I want to happen is that I was actually a changeling the entire time. Like, after we separated, I was a changeling. I killed his brother and replaced him, and I'm not actually his real brother, or something like that. Something crazy. And then that way, there is just so much more potential for player backstories, player integration, players to have these crazy arcs without much effort in the beginning, you know? And then like getting that like set up like that, oh my god, so good. So good. Anyway, I had that video come out, and it's, like I said, it's doing way better than it should be. And also doing a thing where you go live on TikTok right after a video starts doing well is something that they encourage, but it also might draw a lot of like traffic to this particular giveaway, which is great. I love having you guys. And if you, it's like I said before, it's you know, no cost to enter or anything like that. You can just come, you can vibe, and you don't even have to stick around for the whole thing. I will be drawing the winners at 7 o'clock Pacific time, and then also probably that's when the stream is supposed to end, but let's be fully honest, I'm gonna go on beyond that. I do also have to cancel the next 2 Tuesday D&D variety streams, because instead I will be playing Monster Hearts with Madaloon, who stars in the Baldur's Girly stream that I do on Wednesdays. Also Kiki Do Stuff, their partner James, oh my gosh, Gamer Raider Girl, also known as Ivy, Hannah from Hannah Does D&D, tons of people. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That's gonna be for the next 2 Tuesdays, and then I'll be making up the hours. You know, either I'll do an extra stream on Sunday that talks about D&D, you know, non-gaming streams, or we'll just tack it onto this stream. You know. XYZ Warrior says, oh my gosh, I would absolutely love this as an idea. I love when players try and work backstories together, especially because I do try and work with them to make it work. That is the best. That's my fucking bread and butter as a DM, is player integrations. And it takes a long time, but it's amazing. Orsak says, my 82 connected games, everything is player generated. All of them are connected. I love that stuff. Also, Charles says to hydrate. Thank you so much. Legic says, do you still need somebody to open that jar for you? I am set. I got the jar open. I ate most of the contents. We are golden. And I also got like 70 Dude, I should have posted that on my actual fucking TikTok account as opposed to a story. Because like that got so many views of just me suffering. Brenda Masson says, props Flint. I didn't quite hear I needed the sub because I'm working on ECG interpretation for homework. Asim, what are you studying? And then we also have another comment that's oh my gosh. Shmetsky, oh wait, no. Turfinator says, I have my current campaign started as players working for a treasure recovery company, but they all independently came up with plot twists where their backstories are intertwined. So good. So amazing. Also, I'm gonna reset the subscriber goal real fast before we go too much further. We reached 57, it was, I think, out of 55 out of 50 last time. Let's start over and let's make it a little bit easier. So we already hit, oh my god, I already forgot how many we've been given. Okay, so we have 7 and 5, and then, oh my god, those are left over from last time. Let's just reset it to 0 for now. Subscription goal progress, 0, and then we're gonna set that to, because I should have done this beforehand, just a little bit, just 10, and then call that good for now. My donation goal is also going to change because as of right now, since this is a PAX U sponsored, not sponsored, they're not paying me, but you know, PAX U, I guess, helped stream. They're the ones giving you guys the badges. We're going to go ahead and say that today's goal is PAX U travel. And we're just going to set a simple goal, starting off with a little bit of maybe $75. To help me get my luggage out to Philadelphia, cause that's, god, it's so fucking stupid. I tend to bring, just like being a woman and having you know, toiletries and things like that, makeup and whatnot, that alone is more liquid than is allowed on a plane, so I can never do carry-ons. But it's good to have checked luggage anyway. I'm taking some games and stuff with me, including the expansion for the Red Dragon Inn that you guys helped me buy yesterday. I think it was specifically Caminator. Okay. Simi says, how long is too long for a backstory? Like, how much should one leave up to the GM? It's up to you. So what I usually tell my players to do is, however long and detailed you want your backstory to be, please go for it. If you're like, I want to name every single person that my character knows, and everyone that they're related to, all of my goals, you should at least have one goal. But anything more than that, it's just like, it's all fodder. And there's a higher chance that the DM then gets to pick and choose what they want to be relevant in the game. So if you list off like 12 of your family members, they can choose, you know, 5 to 10 that they decide that they want to have show up in the game, or maybe even less than that. And so it just kind of gives, you won't overwhelm your DM. It'll be like like something to pick and choose from, I guess. The more the merrier, because then they have more options and they can pick out what fits best in their specific campaign. So as far as leaving what's up to the GM, I would touch base with them. You can say like, hey, I can make up all these characters and all their details, but if you want to, how about I just say, you know, my father was a wizard, and then they can insert their own wizard that they already have in the game or that another player made up, and then integrate that into their to your backstory if they want to. So it really depends. It's up to the GM. It depends on how much work they want to do and how much integration they want with their worlds, because they might have existing ideas. If you're like, hey, I want to live in a town, and you go, you know, very detailed, where you're like, it's named this and this and this and this, and then these are all the people in it, this is what my family did to support themselves, this is the size of the town, this is the biome that it was in. You can do that, but if the DM's okay with it, other times the DM might just come up and be like, hey, I think I have a town that you could have existed in, like, are you okay with a large size town that has these properties? And then they'll give you like some options. So you know, character creation is always going to be a collaborative process, and the collaboration, the level that you want to go through with, depends on the DM. So, you know, just talk to them. I try and lean towards the more info, the merrier, which is a very long-winded sort of answer, but it's a very good question, Timmy. Mr. Lucas says, my book has a changeling that makes someone super jealous because they flirt with their man. A man in her mind, at least. Ooh. Random Masson says, nursing school. I'm done in May. Oh, nice. That's awesome. I have a degree in applied math, but teaching doesn't pay crap. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. The state of the teaching thing is abysmal right now. Misty Pavao says, have you gone LARPing before? I have not. And also, Nerd Nonsense just followed. I do kind of want to get into cosplay a little bit. Also, Par51VA1, thank you so much for the follow as well. It's good to have you guys. But it's expensive to do things like that. Orsak says, I set sales goals in my streams. That's a good idea. Pluto says, I'm so glad I'm driving, LOL. Yeah, to PAX U. It's a bitch and a half having to worry about like baggage and things like that. But oh well. The Mr. Nick, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, it's good to have you guys. It looks like we're up to 65 viewers, and then as far as the giveaway goes, what are we at? I guess I should open up my actual fucking giveaway. Oh my god, like dashboard. So I'm using MooBot for this one, and it's brand new to me. Here we go. Manage giveaway. 16 entries. Oh man. All right. Well, if you haven't already, you guys can type in unplugged badge in chat, and then you can enter to get one of 5 free PAX Unplugged badges. All 3 days are covered. The only thing it doesn't cover is like hotel and transportation and stuff like that. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Charles Swift 22 says long backstories help inspire everything. Absolutely. And honestly, the more fodder you can give your DM to work with, the better. It's so much fun. The Turbinator says, I'm just starting as a player and I wrote a whole Obsidian character sheet, amazing, and gave them like 3k words of backstory. Very overkill, but they wanted the assist for world building. Yeah, because honestly, that's the best part of it. So I'm a lazy DM and I try and encourage other lazy DMs, where essentially we do the least amount of world building that we possibly need to in order to make a campaign work. So like most of my locations, and I can show you guys a map here in a second to show you what I'm talking about. Oh, and Mad Hair, you don't have to have the quotes. I don't think it works if you have quotes. But yeah, that like is most of my world is empty, and I leave it up to my players to decide, if they're like, hey, I really want to live in a frozen north town that is a very small town and it has mostly an economy based around farming by using magic, then I'll be like, okay, sure, and then I'll make that up real quick and then drop it into my world wherever it makes sense. So I let my players guide my world building and flesh out my world for me, and then that way everything is canon too. So if their player does something in a campaign that relates back to their hometown, that hometown is part of my world. It is permanently in there, and that effect that they have on their town that might change things in the future. Maybe some other player comes along and they're like, I also want to be in a frozen town, but maybe this happened, and I can be like, yeah, I have the perfect town for you. In fact, here's its entire history ready to go, and in fact, here's a notable character from the last campaign that just ended that you might have heard of. It's just so much fun. Collaborative world building is the only way to go. And it's so much easier than people think, because it really is just bouncing ideas back and forth off each other and building as you go. You really don't have to have a whole thing built out to play D&D. You just do the bare minimum. That's my motto. Bare minimum. Fenrir Sarkis says, I like to include details in the backstory that the players don't know about and reveal in game. Yes, and then always ask if there's any hard lines. Yeah, I want to do a dedicated stream talking about safety tools at some point, but I'm pretty new to them, and I want to go to more cons and go to more panels about safety tools to kind of bring more info back for you guys. Charles Swift says, how do you navigate big bad encounters that don't end in fighting? So you might have to be a bit more specific there, but in general, you'll want to kind of like make it so that you still get the experience for navigating the threat. So you don't have to kill the big bad, and you don't have to make it so the big bad like gets, they make a charisma check, and then all of a sudden the big bad is like, oh my god, I'm the bad guy, I want to be a good guy, I'm going to change my entire morality. don't make that a thing, because that's not, you know, make sure it's still in character, whatever the end result is, but also still reward your players. You know, maybe have it so the big bad like leaves the area, and so they can still loot the lair if they want to, or maybe the big bad takes most of their stuff with them, but, you know, leaves a couple things behind, or something like that. Make sure they still get a reward, though, that is not necessarily proportional if it like derails your entire campaign, but like still somewhat reasonable. A.S. Hong says, hello, I've been loving your content across TikTok and Twitch. Glad I could catch a live stream. Yeah, I'm so glad you like it. Thanks for popping by. Seth says, unplugged badge. Almost. You gotta do one less space in there. I tried to, so I was gonna make it just unplugged, but I wanted people to be able to talk about PAX Unplugged in chat without like Moobot yelling at them. Arclight says, is this the Diane of the Rose, beacon of inspiration and acceptance? Oh, wonderful being of the tabletop community and all-around amazing friend within this space. Arc, you are such a hype man. So amazing. So much fun to be around you. Even though we barely talk, I fucking love it. Charles Swift says, unplug that. Yeah, sorry. It's gotta be a without a space there. Arcatros, also known as XYZ Warrior 999, says, I find that it's good to have at least an option or two for either guild, faction, and or families. Yeah, I will say guilds are my weak point. I don't like building them out. Outside of like established religions and like clerics and churches and things like that. Beyond that, I hate guilds, so I don't ask my players for them. But if you happen to have guilds, that can be a lot of fun. So for instance, I have like a hunters guild and then a couple of adventurers guilds in different skins, basically. And I make it so that most of my characters either start or have some relation to those guilds if they feel like they are part of the adventuring sphere or a hunting sphere when they start the game. And if not, that's cool too. I don't push the guild thing too much. And also like the notoriety system, I haven't even looked at it, to be fully honest. Seth says, did I do the thing? I can find out here in a sec. Let's see. Gen Shazam, hello, welcome. Mad Hair, hi. Benrir Starker says, I love Obsidian. Yeah, I really want to learn it. That's like one of my gaming goals. Also, over 9K11 just subscribed. Thank you so much. We also have Wolf Trap, Shinra Tensei, Captain Aqua 1, and over 9K11 who followed. Same with the Mr. Nick, if I haven't said it already. Thanks you so much for following, guys. That pretty much is the only requirement for the giveaway, by the way. You do have to follow, only because I locked down my chat to people who follow. But you don't have to subscribe or anything. You can enter. Subscribing does not give you more entries. Neither does like donation or anything like that. I try and make it so everyone has an equal chance. So as long as you're here, you can pop in. You can say hi. You can join the giveaway and hopefully win one of 5 badges. February Starker says, it's not really lazy world building, that's just the nature of the beast. I appreciate that. Also, Calevra693, thank you so much for the sub with Prime. God, I always forget Prime subs are a thing, but it's just so helpful, you know. The Terminator says, for cons, there's often transportation and hotel deals specific to it. Yeah, so if you go to the PAX U website, if you happen to be one of the winners, there is a thing on the site that's like accommodations or like hotels or something, and usually they'll buy out whole blocks of a hotel for like a bulk price. And then like parcel that out to give to people who go to the cons and things like that. I think that's almost every single con. It's rare you'll find one that doesn't have that sort of deal. Even Big Bad Con had it. And so, yeah, usually you can get hotels and stuff at a better price than you would be just going. And if you do go to the con, make sure you check the con website first, get all the info you possibly can squeeze out of it before you start making arrangements. Wolf Trap says, what would be your dream team of actual / narrative campaign players, i.e. Abria Iyengar, Beely M, Marissa Ray, etc.? Honestly, God, I don't watch a whole lot of actual plays. I just don't have the time nowadays. As far as players go, I got fucking blessed, dude, with the players that I have in my Curse of Strahd campaign right now. And this is one of the best things, one of the highlights of my life, is that we were playing Curse of Strahd last week, and my players had amazing roleplay moments that like blew me away as a DM and blew the other players away as spectators, to the point that someone in my group messaged me afterwards and they were like, Diana, I think this is the best D&D session I've ever been a part of. And they're like, I want to DM for this group now. And they were so cool. Specific shout out to Endeavorance, Endo DMs, Hannah Does D&D, Vesnuvian Vixen, Cat Ions or Caitlin on TikTok. Oh my God, there's so many people in this campaign. Cinderblock Sally's in it. Oh my gosh, Arlentrick is in it. oh hey, it's Gina, G's Julia, everyone. A lot of major D&D people have been in this campaign at some point or are going to be in it soon. So for instance, Paige and Kiki are jumping in. Same with How to Do Voices. Yeah, it's a pretty big campaign, and everyone who is in it currently are all amazing role players, and they're all part of D&D TikTok, like the D&D world, and so they know what they're doing, which is just like the best that anyone can ask for. Terminator says, I'm a lazy DM that doesn't delete anything. There's always another island. 13 mostly complete planets, all inhabited, and most of the lifting was done by players. This is 11 years of playing, though. I love that. And always building off of it, too. You never throw anything away. You always, like, make sure that things get more and more fleshed out over time. Events that happen are canon, things like that. Yeah. Flintmaster says I'm always doing the bare minimum in like everything. That's the plan. We do lazy DMing around here. The Schmetsu says, okay, here's one for you. How do you incorporate a PC into the story when they only give very minimal backstory? I have a player who plays a hermit who lost his wife. I'm thinking later down the line of the story, it will turn out that the wife has actually been poisoned by one of the character's oldest friends. So are you asking about the friend or are you asking about the wife? Because if you like only have very minimal backstory, always go through, and ideally you want to do this earlier in the campaign so they don't have a hint of something coming. So if you come up to them now and you're like, hey, by the way, your wife, what color was her hair? And they're going to be a little suspicious, but like at the beginning of a campaign, you try and head that off and give yourself the most chance possible by asking them questions, and sometimes doing like little red herring questions. So like I'll go up to my players and I'll be like, hey, you have this important person in your party. What was your relationship like with them? What did they look like? You know, how did you meet them? And kind of like prod that information out of them, because no one wants to sit down and write a 14-page backstory and have every single detail right away. Like it's very much what they give you is a rough draft, and you should work with them to get the extra details out of it, and then take notes on every single fucking one because they will be so useful. You should be creating like basically portfolios on your characters. It's so much fun. AS Hong says, by the way, super stoked to hear you're going to be here in Philly for PAX U. Gonna try and convince my D&D group to attend this year. You should. That'd be fun. Was there anything in particular about this con that made you want to attend? Yeah, they gave me a badge for free. But also the fact that I get to see my friends again. So my first ever con was Gen Con. I did not know Gen Con or PAX U or anything that wasn't essentially PAX existed prior to this, but the lovely Alec the Bard actually popped into my, I think, DMs at one point or some chat somewhere and was like, Diana, you're like an influencer. You gotta come to this thing. So I went to Gen Con, met a fuck ton of people, met all of my internet friends IRL, and then was like, oh my god, like, these are my people. Like, this is, I can actually talk about D&D with these guys and they'll know what I'm talking about. Like, I can freak out over my dice and they'll actually care, which is so fucking cool. And getting to hang out with them and like drink with them and play games with them is the best thing ever. So going into cons is just, oh, it's amazing. So that's my motivation is friends. And then also, I live in fucking Bend, Oregon. There's no nerds around here. We have one tabletop shop, and it's teeny tiny. And there are like, there's not a whole lot as far as nerds go. And so we, yeah. So there's, I don't know. I've complained about this a lot to my online friends, but I can't talk about my D&D stuff with my internet friends. Like, I could go up to them and be like, hey, I'm a D&D influencer, you guys. Like, I met such and such last week, and like, if I name drop someone in the D&D world to you guys, you'll be like, holy shit. If I name drop someone in the D&D world to my actual friends, they're gonna be like, oh, that's cool. Anyway, here's what I did last week. And I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, this is a huge deal. I can't like splurge about my D&D stuff to my real friends. And so maybe it's all self-centered. Maybe that's the answer, is I just like hanging out with people. Dice Cream, hello. Dice Cream Sandwich says, what up, Diana? Awesome to see you crushing it on Twitch. Hi, are you? Oh my gosh, it's good to see you guys as well. For those who don't know, Dice Cream Sandwich, absolutely amazing. You guys are mostly on Twitch, right? Here, hold on. Give you a little shout out. Dice Cream Sandwich. Let's see if this works. Did I spell sandwich right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm so far behind on chat. Okay, goodness. Simi says, have you heard of DreamCon in Austin? Oh gosh, no. And also, it's hard for me to get out to. I went to Austin once, and it was all right. It was cool. It was fine. Big city. I don't know. Texas is always weird. Marathon says, I'm a lazy DM and that I don't write answers for traps and obstacles. I just toss that cliff or door or ravine at the players and let them work it out. Yeah, I've seen that tactic. I would do that maybe once or twice, but I would be wary of doing it too much, I guess. Just in case they catch on, you know. Fenrir Starker says you should include just a bunch of titles in your bio, like Daenerys. I should. I need to get a title at some point. Someone want to give me a title? just shout it out. I'm sure I'll take what I can get. Vendor Stark, the Turfinator says, I just co-opt IRL unions for my guilds. Oh shit! Turns out Wikipedia even has names for your union leadership. That's pretty sick. I think that's one of those situations, like building guilds would be one of the things where I would really turn to ChatGPT on it, because I don't want to, I'm so lazy about guilds in particular. Digger wants me to correct my posture. Can do. Oogly81, thank you for the follow. Same with the Maharishi. And Calevra693. I can't remember if I already shouted you out for subscribing with Prime, but thank you. Also, Hockeyman wants me to hydrate. All right, I'm gonna blast through these next questions just so I can get caught up, because I've been going on forever about cons and stuff. I can see a lot of people using the emotes too. Thank you so much for using those. It makes me feel happy because they were not cheap. The Genshazam says, have you ever seen Fairy Tail? I have not. I would love to play in a game where you could be in a magic guild like that. Yeah, I imagine someone's done it already. If not in D&D, then in some other system. D&D is not the most flexible system for things like that. Adopting other things into like the 5e rules isn't always the easiest. And so I would just like check out other tabletops. That's what I'm trying to do right now, is kind of trying to expand a little bit. I'll let you guys know what I find. Seth says, for a moment I thought you said inventors guilds, and that sounds very cool. Maybe a gnomish type thing though. Yeah, I mean, now that the artificer is like a proper thing, having artificer guilds would be pretty fucking sick, and also would make sense because they are just another form of creator, and it would make sense to unionize and stuff like that. Seth says, always use your Prime sub. Don't leave that money for Jeffy B. And Smetsky says, I gotta use those Bezos bucks. Karaoke Kev said, had to take a pause for my D&D game to come enter the giveaway. Oh, well, thanks for pausing. Yeah, you also don't feel free to stick around, you know. I will, if your name gets drawn, I'll message you somehow, I believe. I'll try. And if not, I'll figure it out and feel really guilty later. Seth says, play stream when? Playing what? Billion6 says, hi from North Carolina. Hello. God, I'm so far behind. Arcatros says, are there series, genres, or other games or other that you put together for inspiration that you use for your games? Yes. I could do whole separate streams on that, but mostly horror stuff. Not necessarily horror movies, but horror RPGs. So for instance, Kingdom Death, and oh gosh, what's the name of the Tainted Grail? I look at the minis for those, and I'm like, how do I make this a D&D character? Because they get real creepy. Leon Dube says, this question might be broad, but in terms of D&D, how easy is it to get into? I really don't know much, but friends of friends have invited me to join their games a while back, but to be honest, I feel so nervous because I know so little. So what I recommend is asking them if you can sit in on their games first. D&D is really hard to learn if you go through the book, like page by page and things like that. It's so much simpler to just watch someone else play and kind of passively learn the rules. And then from there, I would just recommend following a tutorial online on building a character based on, and you can work with your DM on this, based on whatever sounds the most fun, class-wise and race-wise and things like that. Don't worry about optimizing it all, and then just hop into it, because most of the game is roleplay, and then for the rest of it, the crunchier stuff, the numbers and the dice and things like that, your DM can help you out with it. And so I would just say, never fear. Toss out the player's handbook, don't worry about it in the slightest, and then just watch them play for a bit until you get used to the flow of things, I guess. The X Streak, thank you for the follow, and Redbeard1008 and the Mr. Nick subscribed with Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton, you guys. Looks like Oogly1 says Pathfinder player here from the Tiki-Taki, lol. Don't hate me. I want to get into Pathfinder at some point. Sheik also says hello. Hi, good to see you. Seth says bare minimum sounds like a good name for a lingerie brand. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm surprised it's not a thing yet, but I guess it's not copyrightable. Ark says, let me bring in a dark Power Ranger, Bladesinger Wizard. I would happily pop in on that Curse of Strahd series too. It's like Wes March's style, so it's going great. Mr. Nick says, most people don't want to write those 14-page backstories. Yeah, you kind of just like develop it over time. Okay, I gotta skip down a little bit. I'm so sorry if I'm missing your question. Or your comment. Oogly says Pathfinder is a background generator. It's kind of awesome. Ooh. I do like more loose backgrounds than D&D has, to be fully honest. Cobbling one together from your idea, like, I don't know. The backgrounds seem like the least intuitive part of the game, as far as like matching it to your character. I feel like they should be more freeform. Alec the Bard says there's nothing out there. I'm assuming you're referring to fucking Bend, in which case, come visit and find out, you coward. Terminator says, if you don't want to write backstory, give it to the player who will, and now you'll be invested in each other. Yeah, entwined backstories is a really easy way to get around like a hefty backstory doing it all yourself, you know? Shmetsky says, my goal with it is to test the player's devotion of being a pacifist, and that's some gray area into his morals. Dude, moral gray area. Okay. I can't go on a tangent about this right now because I'm gonna make a video on it, and also I'm still really behind in chat, but I could go on for so fucking long about moral gray areas, dude. They're my favorite fucking thing in D&D. It's so much fun. It's so good. Oh god, I could go on. The Jagmeister, thank you for following. Same with Ronan Ryjan. I hope I said everyone's name. I'm trying to get everyone. Clever says, cons are truly incredible to go to, but the heat in Florida makes cosplay real tough. Yeah, people who cosplay for cons is like, y'all are brave. Our toughest soldiers. Canadian people says Bend is like the antithesis of nerd. It really is, but at least I can wander around here and not get recognized, which is really nice. I never have to worry about that. Tony says to hydrate. I can do that. I can feel my words kind of like slurring into each other, mostly just out of the fact that I talk really fast and I'm trying to like get through this really fast, so I can get caught up. Oogly says, I prefer just making a character concept. Yeah, just like starting broad and working your way in is like the best way to do it, in my opinion. Taking some theme and being like, how do I make a character that fits this theme? Ken Shazam says, the only cons I've been with are local ones and Star Wars Celebration. I've been considering going to Gen Con, but was kind of late. I may have to look at this one. I recommend it. If you're going to go to any con, especially if you have to travel for it, I recommend Gen Con. Captain Aqua says, hey, fellow Oregonian, hello. Turfinator says, I met a bunch of OG TSR grognards, but nobody I know knows who they are. I have no idea who that is. The Marishi says, no one knows Phoenix Walk. Yeah, sorry, this is all new to me. Fender Starker says, my father-in-law's in bed and he thinks my nerd bar idea would work well there. There's a lot of closeted nerds in that city. We're all closeted because we don't have DMs, unfortunately. It's like, Ben in particular, and this is kind of a problem I want to solve at some point. Oh shit, Alec the Bard just gifted 5 tier 1 subs to my community. Thanks, Alec. That's suspiciously nice of you. I appreciate that, buddy. Dice Cream says, my Ivy, mostly DMs on there right now, I work with Questkeep Studio, but she runs amazing games. Dude, I want to play with Ivy. I'm so happy to have her in the Monster Hearts campaign that we're doing, because I'm so stoked for that. For those of you guys who don't know, Gamer Raider Girl is like a fucking pillar of the community. And she's going to be in the Monster Hearts campaign that we're doing next Tuesday and the Tuesday after, hosted by Madaloon, who is also in chat. Alex says, have a great stream, runs away. Oh, did you gift it to Mad? Oh, yeah, awesome. Well, that's super sweet of you. Sammy says, see, Alec, that's how alerts work correctly. Digger also says, can't stay, but had to say hi. Well, it was great having you. Sammy says, I went to a Dice Cream Sandwich panel at Gen Con without knowing who they were, and I'm so glad I did. Easily the best panel I went to. That's awesome. Ashley Rooney says, someone that's written a 30-page backstory before. It's hilarious to see my GM's face when I sent that over. Yeah, that's like my dream, is characters who make really long backstories, because they'll have the most integrated stuff in the campaign. The more you give me to work with, the more you'll get out of it. Sammy says, I'm in the middle of creating a new campaign using Monster of the Week, which I haven't used before. It's Peter Pan themed. That's a cool idea. I don't think I've seen that before. I like that a lot. Clever says, did everyone else that entered the giveaway get a whisper confirming? Yeah, so if you enter the giveaway, Moobot will delete your chat so it doesn't spam everyone else, but it will also whisper you and say, like, you're in, don't worry about it. You can only enter once, and everyone has an equal chance, so even if you're a sub, you don't get a better chance or anything. Only catch is, if you're over on TikTok right now, you do have to be on Twitch. So hop on over to Twitch to enter, and then that will close at 7 o'clock Pacific time, so in about, oh my god, an hour 20? Leon Dube says, thank you for the tips. Yeah, of course, happy to help. Seth says, Queen of the Bend, Sovereign of Picnic Dates, Celestial Giggle Maiden. Is that my thing? DM Unbounded, Lady Diana of the Rose. I love that. Turfinator says, when are we getting the Diana D&D supplement? Oh god. So I don't know. Someone make it. I'm not. You feel free to use my name and label this all the fuck you want. I cannot do homebrew very well at all. Bear Shmesky says bare minimum, spelled B-E-A-R, would be lingerie for woodland creatures. Goodness. Terminator says you can ignore backgrounds altogether, just grab 2 skills in a tool or language. Yeah, so the default, like the cobble your own background is probably what I'm going to do from now on if I ever go on the other side of the damn screen. The Yagmeister says, what do ghosts drink at the bar? Booze. That's all. They say, that's all from me. Goodbye. All right, well, thank you for that. Maddie has popped into chat. Hello, Maddie. And Maddie says, you have emotes. They're the cutest. Oh my god, thank you. Yeah, I love them. They're so much. They're my favorite. Fenrir Starker says, I got to Bend a lot, so challenge accepted. Bend is great. Despite what Alex says. Raijin. Oh, Ronin Raijin. Got it. Raijin is a Japanese thunder god. Ronin is also just my middle name. Oh, that's awesome. All right, well, thank you for teaching me how to say your name. I appreciate that immensely, because otherwise I'm here fucking blindly guessing. Madeline says, Monster Hearts. Yeah, I'm so excited. I gotta make a TikTok announcement for that. I'll probably do it Monday. Doing announcements right before the thing, I feel like tends to work better than asking people to remember something 3 weeks ahead of time. Terminator says, so you're saying that if I end up in Oregon, there's a chance that there's players. Here in the Jax area of Florida, all I find are DMs. Yeah, so one time I went to tried to go to the Adventurers League game and my friend in the local game shop. And again, there's only one in this town, and it's a very small town, and it's mostly full of nerds, outdoorsy nerds, not like cool nerds. The kind of people who ski and snowboard and hike and shit. Those guys. And I went to Adventurers League, and I showed up an hour, right before it started, and it filled up about an hour before then, I believe it was. It was, like, absurd, because there were too many players and not enough DMs, and I feel like that's the case pretty much everywhere, which is really unfortunate, but that's kind of what my goal is with my content and whatnot, and I say this every stream, because it always comes back around to it, but we just need more DMs in the world, and I'm just trying to make it easier. Sibby says, I never got the whisper. Give it a shot again, maybe? Seth says, my favorite pacifist character. Doesn't the Bible have some pretty specific things to say about killing? Quite specific. It is, however, somewhat fuzzy on the subject of kneecaps. I love that. Like a Batman style guy, except Batman just fucking maims people. Venerary Starker says, if I do the nerd bar, I'd have GMs on payroll, so that would fix the DMs shortage. That'd be pretty solid. Gen Shazam says, oh, I didn't get a whisper. I mean, does that mean I get it wrong? I can try and read out the names here in a sec. Madeline is saying that you guys should watch Monster Hearts next week so you can watch Diana, Ivy, Kiki, James, Hannah, and I all flirt with each other and use TTRPGs as an excuse. I won't deny it. Billion6 says, sadly, I haven't actually gamed in a long time. I'm too much of an internet hermit. That's fair, and I honestly prefer internet games for that reason. Redbeard says, thoughts on suggested campaign modules for a new DM? By default, Lost Mines of Phandelver is like the bigger one as far as like new campaigns for DMs and players goes. It walks you through the rules pretty easily. It doesn't throw anything crazy at you. Beyond that, I would also recommend a one-shot to start off. So like something like Wild Sheep Chase is always my favorite. It's very easy, very intro module. It has a healthy dose of both roleplay and also combat, and it's not like incredibly high stakes. So if you decide that you hate DMing, you don't have to put too much effort into something that's never going to be used, things like that. So that's what I would recommend. Our Katros says, from Colorado here, snowboarding and hiking is so cool. Colorado is just the fucking Oregon of the East. Colorado and Oregon are like this. Best buddies. Snow Cold North Philly says, I could totally DM. I just don't wanna. That's fair. It is a little bit of an investment, but it's so much worth it. It's really fucking worth it. Madeline says, alrighty, I've got work to do, but it was lovely to see everyone. Give Diana all the love in the world. Thank you, Maddie. I will see you soon. And I'll also be DMing you very shortly after this stream is over to plan out the Monster Hearts thing, because I have not gotten to it at all. I haven't had the time to even look at it. But I'll get to it. I promise. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says, there she is. Hi, Jonathan. Venerary Starker says, my first DMing experience with 5e was Lost Mines. Yeah, and I highly recommend starting with a module. Yeah, I don't recommend doing homebrew stuff for your first time. Arcatro says, what do you use to keep track of your DM things? Don't hate me for this, but I use Word documents, and I don't recommend it. I want to get into Obsidian so bad, but I'm also just like, because what I do is I take, and I made a video about this, I will take a published module, like, for instance, Curse of Strahd or whatever, and I will get, like I said, don't hate me, Jonathan, keep your voice down. I will take the entire, like, basically a PDF of it from online or D&D Beyond or whatever, and like paste it into a Word doc, and then go in and find and replace keywords. So for instance, I will replace character names and things like that. Yeah, so I just need it to be highly editable, and I also need to be able to like copy and paste shit in and do things like that. As far as like the actual Google Doc goes, I find it a lot more friendly when it comes to like pasting images and things. So I will go in and like paste images of stat blocks and things like that. But I'm trying to get off of it, you guys. I swear, I'm recovering. Give me a break. Billion6 says, I want to see more people play Dungeons, the Dragoning 40k 7th edition. Socrates Streams, welcome in. Says, I miss snowboarding and things. I moved to the south last year and I don't have those things now. Oh, yeah, I mean, it exists. That's not really my thing personally. I don't really go outside. Latinas Against Spooky Shit says, Obsidian is great once you learn it, but the learning curve is a sheer drop. Also, Socrates Streams and Gentlein17, thank you so much for the follows. Good to have you. Wade Gordon says, are you on Twitch as well right now? I am. So I'm mostly hanging out on Twitch. I just duplicate to TikTok so that way you guys can see that I'm live and whatnot. Either way, great to have you. But if you're over on Twitch, you can join the giveaway where I'm going to be giving away 5 free 3-day badges to PAX Unplugged, which is going to be December 1st through 3rd in Philly. I will be there. All your favorite TTRPG creators are going to be there. It's basically just tabletop gaming for 3 days in Philly. It's a lot of fun. Mercer's gonna be there doing a keynote speech. There's gonna be a bunch of exhibitors. I'm gonna spend fucking hundreds on dice. Fenrir Starker says, sorry, a little buzzed and my phone is trying to escape. Maddie says, I'm a believer in Google Docs. Google Docs are magical and easy, and I'm stupid. I should do Google Docs, but I don't trust Google Docs to like hold to the size of documents that I need. So for instance, one of my docs right now is for Curse of Strahd, right? This is a hefty amount of information, and I basically doubled it by the extra stuff that I've tossed into the campaign. And so Google Docs, straight up, I do not have the storage space for it. So I rely on my computer for that. Timaranthan says, note cards, physical note cards for initiative. Each player gets a card and each monster gets one. Yeah, I need to go more analog, dude, because I find that I'm physically incapable of DMing in-person stuff anymore because I'm so used to online stuff. Shadow, hello, hi. BMK1 says, Lost Mines is such a good starter campaign. I played that as my first campaign and accidentally derailed the campaign to the Shadowfell. Fucking hell. Ashiruni says, Tales of the Yawning Port is also a really good starting book. Yes, any of the compilations are really good. It's got a bunch of adventures and shorter modules from old magazines and the like, and it compiles them all together. I think I have it. I thought I had it. Yeah, I do. Basically, yes, if you don't know, these compilations, there's a bunch of them now. Keys from the Golden Vault, Tales from the Yawning Portal, Candlekeep Mysteries, Journeys from the Radiant Citadel. They're all basically like chains of different level campaigns together. And so they're all basically a series of one-shots almost, although I wouldn't rely on them being one-shots because they last several shots. Don't use them as a one-shot. But you start at one level, and then you can, in theory, chain all of them together and progress really well through the levels. And if you decide, like, you want to do one and then call it good, you can. If you decide that you want to do one and then pass DMing off to someone else, you can do that. If you decide you want to do one and then quit entirely, you can do that. And there's not much info lost. Not much, I don't know. Yeah, so I recommend chaining things together, especially if you're a new DM and you don't want to, like, do a whole ass campaign's worth of prep. And if you're not sure your friends are going to like it, it's a really good way to test the waters. So great advice from Ashi Rooney. Mr. Nick says, I tend to use OneNote to do my DM prep stuff. Oh, I should do that too. But I don't have like an iPad, and I feel like if I'm going to use OneNote, I'm going to need an iPad. Ronan Rajan says, I'm a new DM and my PCs are like 6 sessions into Curse of Strahd. It's just pure chaos. Instead of wanting to help Ismark, they're drunkenly planning a wedding amongst 3 of the PCs, and we're having a wedding next sesh. That is the worst place to have a wedding. Barovia? Holy shit. Turfinator says, do I need to make an Obsidian onboarding video? Once you get in, you never get out. I only know a quarter of the features and I'm stuck in. I really want to. Jonathan says, what are we drinking tonight? This is cranberry vodka from Deep Eddy. If you guys don't know Deep Eddy, oh my god, it's the best vodka ever. And it's in a little bit of Sprite. Purely because I will not have the energy to continue the stream onward. I'm still getting into the 3 days a week streaming schedule, and it is, it's a lot. Genshazam says, outside is dark and full of horrors. Best to avoid it when possible. That's what I'm saying. Flintmaster says, what potion are you drinking? Yeah, just vodka soda, basically. Vodka Sprite, but with cranberry vodka. The cranberry vodka is so good, too. I could just drink it straight. Deep Eddy is fucking amazing, and it's still like 15-something%, I'm pretty sure. The cranberry one is amazing. They have like sweet tea. I think they have orange now. They have a bunch of different flavors. Either that or Wild Roots, which I think is an Oregon brand. Canadian People says, Dice Goblin activate. Also, today's dice, by the way, if you guys decide to redeem the roll a d20 for me, it is a cracked metal d20 that I got from an ex-boyfriend that I haven't used in forever, mostly because the numbers are really hard to read, nothing to do with the X. We do also have the dice potion still locked away in the Dragon's Nest delivery box, and then a Taraka deck reading for the max reward. Stone Cold North Philly immediately he wants me to roll the d20. Stone Cold, whatever your next endeavor is, it is going to be, traditionally this has rolled better for me, so we're trying. And also I'm going to do this where I change out the dice every single time, so every day we get a new dice. I get to show off my collection. All right, Stone Cold North Philly, you rolled a 7. I thought it was a 1, so it could have been worse. I swear to God I can roll good, guys. I'm the DM. No one wants me to roll good anyway. This is fine. This is great. Captain Aqua says, I played a pacifist monk, and although I didn't kill, that didn't stop me from boxing a kraken. Goodness. Mr. Derp, hello, welcome in. And Arcatra says, I understand so much over the last few months. I've switched to Obsidian. There's a TTRPG chat to help out with it, and I write down on a sticky Joshua Plunkett. Does tutorials and has a whole site to help learn. Got it. I just haven't even tried, to be fully honest. The Terminator says, I've used docs before Obsidian, and it was really easy to move over. Ooh. Okay, that's good. It's possible to embed anything too, so some of my pages are just straight up doc files. Oh, I love that. Billion6 says Dungeons the Dragoning 40k 7th edition is actually a thing. I can give links. Holy shit. That'd be awesome. I mean, you can't post links here, but I'll look it up later. Venomous Darker says, starting to do prep for Curse of Strahd today. I'm changing a good amount. I'm basically making Strahd like Dark King Arthur, and he has the Knights of Barovia, which is his round table. That's a really cool idea. And especially when you think of the conflict with the Revenants, that's a really fucking sick idea. Especially if you are into like war scale things. If you make Strahd like an actual King Arthur, you can go a bunch of different directions with that. You can even just convert King Arthur stories, you know, Tainted Grail, Arthurian type things over into D&D really easily. I love that idea. Shadow says, I use OneNote too. Simi says, cranberry vodka. Yeah. Sakity Stream says, I'm a big fan of the Deep Eddy sweet tea. I haven't tried the sweet tea yet, but I want to. Nat Wolf, thank you for the follow. Nathaniel Buckley says, ooh, that's pretty. Where'd you get it from? I have no idea. I think it's off the D&D, like, the Wizards of the Coast website. It's a really basic dice. I remember it wasn't super crazy, but I remember saying once for Christmas that I wanted a metal D20, and my ex, I don't know, wasn't into giving gifts until I broke up with him, and then the Christmas after that, he was like, oh my god, I bought you all these things, by the way, and I'm like, okay, yeah, well. Again, Shazam says, when Candlekeep Mysteries came out, I was interested to see how I could tie them together into a longer campaign. You can, easily, if I could get a group together and they want to continue. Never got around to it because I didn't get a group anyway. Yeah, that's the death of a lot of campaigns. I recommend start playing, though, if you're looking to actually DM for people. People won't ditch you because they're paying to be in the campaign, and you can get paid to run it. Canadian People says, have you tried any Crater Lake spirits? Yeah, so they have a tasting room downtown in my town, and I want to go there more often because they're really nice there. It's really expensive to go, but I love them. I want to go visit their actual distillery at some point and do like a tasting or a tour or whatever I can do to support, but their berry vodka is amazing. They also have a ginger one, which I'm not a huge fan of, but I don't like ginger. I think they also have a coffee one. Senor Bonkies, thank you so much for the subscription. You subscribed for 6 months at tier 1? Holy shit. Well, you're locked in for half a year, dude. Happy to have you. I've been streaming for like 2 months. Turfinator says, Turfinator's drink. Vodka, ginger beer, lemon, honey, lemon orange, dissolved honey, habanero, and a tiny, tiny bit of Coke. A Coke floater is an interesting idea on that mix. I'd give anything a shot once. Stone Cold North Philly said there's 7 letters in my first, middle, and last name, Doe. Oh, so it's like a lucky number. I love that. Turfinator says cola, not the powder. Oh. Fine, I'll try it too. Marathon says, did you roll in front of the screen or behind it? I roll behind it only because I don't always want them to know when I'm rolling. Arcatros says, gotta go to class. Good luck, much love. All right, well, have luck. Have luck. Good luck in class. Billion6 says, stupid ads. Am I missing anything? The VOD will also be up on YouTube later for people who have to sit through ads and don't want to, or, you know, for people who don't have a subscription. Very sorry, but it is unfortunately just kind of the way Twitch works. Again, Shazam says, hope this isn't appropriate to say, but I love your freckles. Thank you so much. They are fake. I try and be very transparent about that. It's like wet powder, basically, that I just like tap on. Nat Wolf says, that dice is really pretty. Where'd you get it from? Yeah, I have no idea. Jonathan says, love the Diana, love life lore. Holy shit, do I have lore. Do you guys remember, real fans will know, at one point I posted a TikTok talking about how I was dating, I think, 30 people at once. I almost had to open a spreadsheet to keep track of them, but I was going on 2 to 3 dates a day. And I didn't have a car, so I was walking about an hour to each one of these. Holy shit, I could go on for fucking ever about all that. Fenrir Starker says, oh yeah, I want to bust out the mass warfare rules from Kingdoms and Warfare. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Seth says, I actually want to do Bible things in D&D. Fighter, Jonathan, Bard, David, Cleric, Samuel. That's a cool idea. Just gotta be sensitive about it and all that, but Fenrir says, I always just go to 10 Barrel because I'm basic. 10 Barrel has the best pizza, though. They're so good. So good. So fucking good. It's better than anything else in town. Ashley Bruni says, for what it's worth, one weird option that has worked really well for my campaign notes is MediaWiki. It's not the easiest setup, it's really handy once you get the hang of it. I would love to try that. I'm down for anything that's not a Google Doc or Word doc at this point. Canadian People says, to Jonathan, I just realized you just make TikToks. I always thought that your name was familiar. Your horror prevention content is hilarious. Jonathan is like the only other Latino in the TTRPG community, and I'm exaggerating. He's just the only one I know that's famous on TikTok. I would love more. But he is, yeah, a lot of people know him for his like Latinos Against Spooky Shit content. He is also an avid D&D player and also one of my favorite people to ever run a one-shot with. His character now canonically owns a tower in the middle of one of the continents in my campaign. Hola, buenas tardes. Yep, there's the line. He said it. Depth and Breadth of Seth says people. Yes, right. Ken Shazam says, whoa, 30? I would have trouble managing one relationship. It wasn't like 30 relationships. It was like I swiped too much one day, woke up the next day, and ended up with too many matches. And I did it. I felt bad like ditching people after I matched with them and shown interest. And so I was like, fuck, I gotta go on all these dates now. Like I gotta hold myself to my standards or to my commitments. So I'm not doing that again. But it was fine. I narrowed it down over time. Dethan TW, thank you for the follow, and Genotech, thank you for the follow as well. Good to have you guys. Let's see, how is TikTok doing? How are y'all you're hanging in there? Oh, all y'all being 3 of you. Yeah, I figured it wouldn't take long. Anytime I have like a hey, come join Twitch type thing, it doesn't tend to go well on TikTok, but thanks for hanging out regardless. It's good to have you guys. Let me know if the music's like too loud or too quiet at any point too. Genotech also just subbed with Prime. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. Fenrir says, I'd also recommend Word Anvil if you're intimidated by Obsidian. I have heard that name before. I don't remember what the selling point for it is, though. How's it different? Turfinator says, I'm not Latino, but most of my friends are. The group chat for a couple weeks straight was Hello Buenos Tardes a while ago. Dude, Jonathan, you're making waves here. Syntactical says, D&D with Lass as the DM sounds dope as hell. I've never had him as a DM, though. Jonathan, you'll have to fucking take over at one point. Do a one-shot with the crew. You'll love them, dude. They're such good players. Holy shit. They're really good players. Like, they're intimidatingly good. So if you ever want to step in for a holiday, let me know. Senor Bonky says, yeah, pretty awesome community here so far. Yeah. Fenrir says, also I forgot a bunch of D&D books are on sale on Amazon right now if anyone needs to fill in the gaps. Yeah, I do need to step into, I have the physical books. I want to collect them. It's like one of the few collections I have, especially like the normal covers. I hate the alternate covers just because they don't, I like things to look nice and neat, and they all look the same on my shelf right now. But I want to get into D&D Beyond, because that'll make it a lot easier for me to do all my digital stuff. I'll make that a sub-goal after the PAX Unplugged goal raising. Jetotech says, welcome, love your content. Hi, well, I'm so glad you like it. And then also, Aaron Gobroff at 513 just followed, and Insomniac63 just subbed with Prime. Thank you so much. What are we at for subs? Oh my god, we're at 12 out of 10. Hold on. Let me fix that. Sub goal. Let's up that to a nice solid 15. Easy enough. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says, coming soon, but Diana is truly one of my favorite DMs of all time. She was wonderful. I can't wait to play with her again. Ah, thank you. I tie my entire self-worth to my DMing. So that means a lot. Senor Baku says, Notion. Obsidian is impressive, but Markdown takes a while to understand. Oh, I mean, I guess. I also have spent enough time on, I don't know, miscellaneous internet shit that Markdown isn't the worst once you get the hang of it, but I get it's definitely like another hurdle that you don't want to have to deal with. Seth says, I mean, there's Polly and then there's 30. I think that's more like Omni. Yeah, I'm dating everyone. You can't hide your wife. She's mine. I did get a lot of questions after that TikTok where people came up to me and they're like, oh my god, Diana, are you Polly? Like, and I was like, no, I'm just fucking stupid. God, it was not, like, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, but it was also expensive as shit because I'm not one of those people who goes on dates and expects the other person to pay. And especially on a date that doesn't go well, if I step into a date and I know it's not going well, I'm gonna pay for it. So that way I don't feel obligated to the other person. I don't feel like they've wasted their time. And if it's like if it's like an even date where I'm like, yeah, I do this again, I still will split the check. So that way I don't owe anyone anything right off the bat. And then we'll go to like a one-off type system, you know, alternating who pays and whatnot. That's just my motto. And I also don't do dinner dates and stuff, so I didn't even get free meals out of it. I was really just going out drinking every single night. Speaking of which, Fenrir Starker says, basically Wikipedia with interactive maps for your campaign. Ooh. I do need a place to keep maps, because currently my maps don't have a living spot, a living space. Canadian People says, I just want to simp over Latinos Against Spooky Shit right now. Jonathan, stop fucking taking over my chat. I will unmod you. Fenrir Starker says, I'm happy that they're doing physical and digital together now. Yeah, dude, they should be. Latino says, Against Spooky Shit says, sweet as that may be, I'm just here to simp for Diana. Dude, Jonathan is going to be at PAX Unplugged too, by the way. So if you guys are here to simp for Jonathan, that's fine. Just, you know, enter to win the badge and you can simp over him in real life. There it is. But But yeah, I'm not kidding when I say that everyone's gonna be there. Seth says, I'll go let her know. Sorry. Yeah, tell her I said hi. Canadian People says, painted yourself into the poly corner. It was unintentional, I swear. Henry Starker says, I'm just added in the campaign that has the master bundle. Ooh, so the only thing I need to buy is the magic items and whatever subclasses people need. I get all the adventure and monster content. Yeah, so that's really nice. I'm in a West Marches style campaign right now where my DM has all the content and shared it with us, and it was so fucking easy to make a character, you guys. Oh my god. I will never make another character manually. Like, I get the hype now. Random Masson says, I'm not poly, I'm just dumb as shit, is my new life mantra. Big fan. Shadow says, I like how you take over Hama's. Hama's what? Hama's witch. Turpinator says, I thought everyone had a date a shit ton of people phase, currently trying to escape mine. Help. I think it's like a canon life event, you know? Clever says, dinner dates are a touch pressure for first few dates. It's either drinks or a lunch date. Yeah, I do drinks, either coffee or like alcohol, or usually both. But I almost always chose the place. And so there was this one place in town, which is currently closing down to move. But I had it so that I would always go to this particular cocktail bar because it's my favorite, absolute favorite cocktail bar in town. They had a nice drink called the Rosebud, which is literally, the rose thing isn't just for a bit. I love roses, and rose flavored things are amazing. And so they would have this Rosebud drink that had like kava and like actual rose petal like scraps on it, and it was strawberries like muddled up at the bottom. It was so good, so fucking good. And so I'd go there like every single day. And the people started to recognize me and like give me looks on the way in. I have no idea if they were nice looks or not. Pluto's back. Hi, Pluto. Seth says, not that I have relevant experience, but I always thought the inviter pays. So I did a lot of the inviting. I put effort into my shit. So a lot of times if I like the person especially, I'd be like, hey, like I got an opening. Well, I mean, I was like, I got an opening 3 weeks from Sunday. Are you busy then? And they'd be like, what the fuck? Because I was so busy but with all these dates. Yeah, that was, oh god, wild time in my life. And it was in the middle of winter too. So I was like running around to all these dates, walking an hour each way most of the time. Because sometimes they wouldn't let the person drive me back, or they wouldn't offer to drive me back, which is fine. I'm not going to make them. But it was fucking cold. So that was part of the reason that I helped you guys helped me back in that one period of time that we don't talk about so much anymore. I was going through it, and financially that was one of the reasons that I needed a car, but then the need for a car screwed me over, and it was a whole thing. This is a tangent. Anyway, I did ask a lot of people out on dates because I don't know, it's just what I do. Syntactical says, not too late for the giveaway, am I? No, we still got another, like, 55 minutes. So if you guys want to enter in the giveaway, all you have to do is hop into Twitch chat and type unplugged badge in chat. It doesn't even have to be all caps, I don't think. You should get a whisper or something from Moobot that says, like, hey, you've entered, you're good to go, and then that'll be it. It's one per customer, and you don't have to be a subscriber. You can just pop into chat, say the word, and leave if you want to, and then I'll contact you later if you win. But there are 5 badges to give away. Shout out to the PAX U team for giving away 5 badges, and then also another 2, one for me, one for a +1 that I gave away to a friend, to go to this con for free. It's a full 3-day badge too. It's awesome of them, honestly. Insomniac says, can you recommend any good modules I could run for my 2 kids, 10 and 13? Wild Sheep Chase can be modified to be a little bit more PG, so I recommend that. And also, they'll love the fact that they can talk to animals. That's a lot of fun. It can be a very family-friendly campaign, just starting off, but without too many like really weird moral questions that could kind of get them confused. So Wild Sheep Chase is amazing. It's also free, just as a PDF online if you just Google it. And it starts at a relatively low level. The only other thing is you'll have to help them with the level up, because I believe it starts at either 3 or 4. You'll probably want to start at 4 since it's only 2 players if it's just the 10 and 13-year-old. So I would help them with the level up on that part, maybe do all the math for them. But beyond that, I recommend that one. And it's not super long, you know. Fenrir Starker says, I really like the map interface. I used it for a nautical campaign. Ooh, and Chip Douglas, welcome, welcome. Hello. Okay, Tamarathon says, first dates should be coffee or something where you can talk. Yeah, that's why I do drinks and coffee and stuff. Same thing, you know, I said I went to the same cocktail bar for like every day for several months. Same thing with a coffee shop, because I was doing coffee in the morning as like a lunch date and then drinks at night, because I was trying to fit 2 or 3 dates in a row every single day essentially to try and get through all these people I'd matched with. And so same with the coffee shop, but it's a really nice coffee shop. Like I still go there. But yeah, they looked at me weird. Gen Shazam says, is it weird that as a guy I still have it in my mind that I should pay on a date? Am I out of touch, or is that considered old-fashioned now? No, the person will always, yeah, hashtag Dungeons and Dating Advice. This has just turned into dating advice, guys. I am so sorry. Dating advice for nerds. There are 89 of you here, so I hope you get something out of it. But yeah, it's not like old-fashioned. It just, if she says, oh no, like I insist, just be sure that you're okay, like splitting it. Don't insist on paying on the first date, because there's a very big reason why we insist on paying as well, or we insist on splitting it, and that is the fact that we don't want to be beholden to you. If we decide that we don't like you, or we're unsure about you, or we just want to play it extra safe, we will offer to pay, so that way we don't feel like we owe you anything. Because unfortunately, it's just a fact of being a woman or a femme-presenting person in this world. We can get taken advantage of by people who think that they are holding something over us. So as long as you're not fighting us when we say, hey, I would actually like to pay, and they are genuinely serious about it and they do want to split the bill or better, just let them. Don't fight it too super hard. But as long as you're doing that, you're fine. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says, new merch idea. I'm not poly, I'm just dumb as shit. You guys... That right next to the I'm a slut for lore t-shirt, and then a hat that just says I'm not poly, I'm just dumb. God's sake, we'll outfit everyone at this rate. Terminator says, I'll wear that, we need this. Terminator says, I think I've had maybe 15 first dates total in my life. That's actually pretty good. I did not have 15 first dates before I started doing my 30 thing. That was like, what, a summer ago? Maybe a fall ago. I think I broke up with my ex in December. And so you are probably doing better than I did at your rate. TK Blue says, best first date I ever had in a while was a trampoline park. Dude, weren't those super dangerous? I know everyone in high school, back when those were a thing, got like something broken on those trampoline parks, because they were hitting their stride when I was in high school. Shadow says, I did dumb stuff when I was younger too, and Simi says, nah, I'm stuck in the low-key in love with my best friend era. No! And it sucks that I like him so much. Simi, no! Oh, I mean, still the will they or won't they can be kind of fun, but only if you're like removed enough from it to be okay with your feelings after the fact, which almost no one ever is. Paige says, what if I'm both poly and dumb as shit though? We can make a shirt for you too. Don't you worry, everyone's included. Clever says, what's everyone's favorite unhinged question to ask on a date? Oh man, I don't have any. Fenrir says, good God, why am I so hungry? Canadian People says, I can pencil you in on the third Friday of Q2 next year. Get your slot while it's shot. I did have to say that a lot. I was like, listen, like it's either 3 weeks from now on a Tuesday at 2 o'clock, or I'm gonna be busy for the next month. And a lot of people were weirdly okay with that. I think I was maybe toxic about that. Malika Cat, welcome to the chat. Also adorable emotes there. And Rajan says, for my PC's Curse of Strahd wedding, they created IRL wedding invitations. Spotify playlists, yes, slay. And they're planning on dressing up for the whole thing. I fucking love that. And of course I'm gonna give them a wedding gift. That's so sweet. Oh, that's awesome. Seth says, Diana is the norm of Bend, Oregon. All my fellow 40-somethings here will have good Cheers reference. I've actually seen Cheers. Back when I was a kid, we were too poor to afford cable, and so we only had what was on the like old person rerun television shows, and Cheers was one of them. Big fan of Norm, and then also that other guy whose name I forget, and then the other girl whose name I forget. Greensky says, my wife says I should listen to the dating advice, LOL. I've got so much dating advice. I'm surprisingly wise for my age, I'd like to think. Fenrir says, Dungeons and Dating. Kinky. It's a different channel. We do that after midnight. TK Blue says, I got nothing. I am going to have to move for the 4th time within the same year. Oh, shit. Starker says, make sure it's a pointed hat. All right. Canadian People says, I just don't date. It's much easier. That's fair. Honestly, it is easier. After I did the 30 dates thing, I kind of stepped back for a while. Lowered it to a normal amount. And then honestly, yeah, I don't know. If you're an independent person, fucking vibe off of that, dude. If you're independent, there's no need to date. Billion6 says, I recently dated that I'm Arrow 8. Realized, that I'm Arrow Ace. Before that, I thought I was just really bad at being straight. That's fair. Seth says, oh god, Diana, please stop reminding me how old you aren't. Sorry. Cleric says, bet, I'll wear it to PAX. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says, yeah, poverty shows. Dude, I could go on about growing up poor. I wanted to make more TikToks on that, but like, I feel like it's been so overdone and it's off-brand enough for me that I don't think I could do it reasonably. But I have so many content ideas on that specifically. The Terminator says, PBS viewers unite. Do y'all remember Cyber Chase? All right, I'm changing the name of the stream. Forget the D&D variety stream. This is just gonna be a Cyber Chase discussion stream. That little bird guy, holy shit. Lulumuck says, not fully unhinged, but fun. A genie that gives you 3 wishes. Your first wish is that your first wish not be granted. What happens? Oh god, I hate paradoxes, dude. My brain, I'm not smart enough for that. Genshazam says, I remember watching Cheers on Nick at Night when I couldn't sleep as a kid. Yeah, so I didn't have Nick at all, or Nick at Night, but Cheers was definitely a thing. That and The Nanny was another one for old people. I didn't do MASH, though. That was on during the daytime. Fenrir Starker says, D&D After Dark? Maybe if I start an OnlyFans. Shadow Dow says, was on... I can't talk about that here. Shadow, you watch your fucking mouth there, buddy boy. Buell says, "Yer, what's up, y'all?" Hi, Buell. Also, there's a bunch of Cyber Chase shit here. Green Skew says, Cyber Chase was this shit. So dark, though. TK Blue says, we had a huge discussion on the best first date in class. The conclusion was that if you can somehow make the stars align perfectly, then a lake day is best. That's true, but also I'd be suspicious. For a first date, if you go out, like, to a lake shore and hang out, that's one thing. If you go out on someone's boat, I would be suspicious of getting murdered, is all. Ethan TW says Dragon Tales. Ooh, that's so good. And Mindstorm says Cyber Chase was my shit. So much stuff. Palpatine's Fist, welcome. We are currently talking about childhood TV shows, either our childhood or someone else's. Felice Navita says, any GM tips as to how to move an indecisive group of players along to make a decision faster without leading them in a certain direction? That's really hard. Because here's the thing, I don't recommend it. I really don't. If they're unless you're doing a one-shot and you actually have to fit within a specific time frame, I really don't recommend trying to rush your players. If they're having like roleplay moments, or if they're like realizing that this is an issue and they never get anywhere over and over again every session, then they'll be more motivated to come up with a solution themselves. They will feel like they need to set a team leader. And really, it might just be a role-playing thing. I think once they get more comfortable role-playing, that will be, they'll probably start to be like, oh, my character defers to the leader, or whatever. Shutterdown says, hey, I sent you a video of my worst dating episode. I haven't seen it yet because I hopped straight from Hama's stream to this one. But I also, Escaping, hello, hi, good to see you. Mike Titan says the implication. Yeah, yes. Canadian People says, my worst date ended with a stalker and a restraining order. Shit. Turfinator says, I should make an Obsidian Vault, just breaking down dating and what worked and didn't for my fellow overthinkers out there. Also, Sunnyshiner9, thank you for following. Palpatine's Fist says, Transformers Beast Wars. Seth says, I remember Cyber Chase, but does anyone remember the brief upon UPN or WB show that also had Christopher Lloyd as a cybervillain who escaped his game? No, I don't remember that. Fenrir says, $5 says it'll turn into a childhood trauma discussion here soonish. Yeah, on that note, I think I got a text about Treat Stream, so I will be right back. If someone sent food, please identify yourself, because I didn't see anyone say that they sent me anything here in chat. Give me a quick sec. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Jonathan, entertain them. It is always such a good day when I get to stream with you guys, because one of you guys, without fail, brings me food. And that, like, fucking... Jonathan, what are you doing, buddy? Goodness, yeah. So one of you guys got me Panda Express. Let me make sure this doesn't have my address on it. It's not going to show anything. Hold on. The best Panda Express order, which is chow mein. I believe there might also be mixed vegetables in here somewhere. Orange chicken and teriyaki chicken. Courtesy of, I don't know who sent this to me. If you either whisper me or let me know. Maybe it's in here and I just missed it. In any case, this is going to turn into a mukbang. But Holy hell, thank you so much. Because I always, and I do this every time, every single time I stream, I sit down and I like forget to eat beforehand because I basically hop off either during my workday or right at the very end of my workday, like at 5 o'clock I start streaming. And so I never get the chance to. So this is amazing. And God, yeah, I'm gonna be spoiling the rest of the stream too because it's been so long. I haven't had Panda Express since I think college. I think it was college. Because we had, I went to Oregon State, and we had like a Panda Express. I keep saying orange chicken. They're synonymous in my head. We had a Panda Express like right in our Memorial Union, and that I like lived off of that. But then I moved to Ben's, and we didn't really have one in the local area. It's like on the opposite side of town. God, yeah, this makes me so happy. It's been so fucking long. Mike Titan, thank you so much for the 100 bits, and then Calevra says to hydrate as well. And then someone has to, I gotta, chill out while I catch up on chat here for a sec. A lot of people talking about childhood shows still. The Super Mario Bros. Show on TV, that was a thing? Oh man. Everyone getting Jonathan to dance for them, amazing. Fender Starker says, do you remember that animated mummy show? I thought it was a fever dream until I saw the opening song on TikTok. Oh my gosh, this is great to read back actually. Goodness, Jonathan, buddy, the comedy routine needs work. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm so sorry. Shadow says, please teach Hama how to do this. Treat stream? Yeah, I've told him to multiple times. And I probably... Here's the thing, I don't want to undermine whatever, if he doesn't ask for advice, I'm hesitant to give it to him because what he does seems to work for him as far as like his income goes. And so I'll let him know that it's a thing, but I wouldn't pressure him to do it. Mr. Derp says, I wish we had Panda Express in the UK. I would love to try it. It's really good. There's a copycat orange chicken recipe out there that is really good. Amazing. I make it all the time. It takes so fucking long though that, you know, I prefer to buy it. Canadian People says Mystery Food Center. Yeah, indeed. Has anyone stepped forward at all? Fenrir Starker says, now she's flaunting food in front of me. I'm so sorry. Ken Shazam said, that is legitimately the best Panda Express order. Thank you. I'd like to think I have good opinions. I sometimes switch up the chow mein with white rice, but yeah, I love the orange chicken and teriyaki chicken combo. I've yet to have good rice from Panda Express though, which is my only thing. TK Blue says, last time I went to Panda, I asked the ladies behind the counter to just load me the fuck up with chicken, and they filled my platter to the brim and charged me $5 for it. Holy shit, drop the address. Shadow Dow says, college was last week. College was almost 2 years ago now. Am I dating myself? Gen Shazam says, you're a beaver? I mean, I don't know if I'd say that. I went to OSU though. Like, kind of, but I don't care about their sports team. Escaping says, LMAO, favorite D&D class and subclass, everyone. Oh, man. That's hard to choose. There's so many subclasses now. Flintmaster says, maybe a Panda Express is secretly sponsoring your stream. Hey, Panda. The Panda himself. Talk to me, please. But yeah. And now everyone's just talking about beaver sports. Please. Not in this channel. Not in this Christian channel. P.F. Chang's lettuce wraps. I haven't had them. I don't think we have a P.F. Chang's where I live, too. This is just a food stream now. This always happens. Every time someone brings up food. Terminator says, I took a copycat orange chicken overseas on deployment. Freaking worth it. Oh, it's so worth it. It's so easy to make, too. I think you just need, like, an orange. And as long as you have chicken in your fridge, chicken breast somewhere, you'll be fine. Shadow Dow says, I do half and half usually. And Escaping wants me to do a posture check. Yeah, I should probably actually scoot in. But yeah. Stone Cold North Philly says, I add beef and broccoli on my bigger plate. I don't know how to feel about it. Escaping also wants me to check my hydration. Soul Iteration, thank you for following. Welcome, welcome. Latinos Against Bookie Shit says, go sports ball. And TK Blue says, address is on that Panda Express is on a military base. Oh, damn. Okay, so I can't sneak in. Got it. Shadow says college was over 18 years ago. Oh my god, I am so young. So young and so pretty. Palpatine's Fist says, oh man, I remember a Goosebumps adjacent show that took place in Erie, but I think it was also the name of the show. Oh man, they're putting out a new Goosebumps thing, aren't they? Terpinator says Panda Express is an Air Force psyop. Frederick Starker says, so we lived in the same town for a bit, but then small world. Yeah, Corvallis in particular is fucking tiny. I hated it there, dude. Clever says, getting Chinese on Taco Tuesday, though? We don't really have taco places. Maybe I should add some tacos. Some nice birria tacos are fucking stellar. Tamarathon says, college was 15 years ago here. Goodness. Simi says, sometimes stuff like this almost makes me not want to be a vegetarian because that chicken looks bomb. It's not bad. Soul Iteration. Hi, good to have you. Thanks for following. Again, Shazam says Christian streams are anti-sports ball now. Dang, I'm really out of touch with Twitch now. Goodness. Dethan TW says, hey, just do your 30 dates again, but with military peeps so you can get on base. That is not worth it in the fucking slightest. SWT Tully, thank you for following. TVLLY, maybe? It's a lot of consonants. Anyway, Terminator says, any wild degrees here? I'm in geology as a rock licker and nuclear sci as a spicy rock licker. Yeah, I studied zoology, and then I have minors in psychology, zoology, or psychology, professional sales, and chemistry. So I am actually wildly, you guys might not know this because I don't mention it very much, unless I do like an animal facts stream, but I am stupidly overeducated for the fact that I'm a content creator. But I'm not full-time. I do actually have like a legit job on the side. Again, Shazam says, college was 7 years ago for me. Dang, I feel old. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says, ooh, birria. Oh, God, it's so good. We have one place that has like really good queso birria tacos, but they're so fucking mean there. Like, I hate going there because they just hate you. They're so mean. I hate it. Canadian People says, definitely taco places in Bend. You just have to find them. They hide. Yeah, a lot of trucks. There's a new one that I want to try, apparently. I keep my ear to the ground on food shit. Oh my God. Fenrir Starker says, I've been air for 5 years now and I really like it actually. I'm from Southern Oregon, so I think it's a step. Oh, what part of Southern Oregon? I've only been a couple times, but there's some cool stuff down there. Deleted Music Official says neuroscience studying the effects of 5-MeO DMT on the brain. That sounds fun. I assume you're giving mice DMT. Mike Titan says nerd. That's what we're here for. Slackney Stream says I wish there was a Panda E on my base. It's so much. It's good. I should also probably have a bite of it, huh? The only problem with eating on stream is then there's dead air, and I hate dead air. Ronan Rajan says, poli-sci, oh nice, with specialization in international relations and political theory with a minor in history. The poli-sci history thing is really common, isn't it? I hope it's easy. I hope it's like a double dip sort of thing. Clever says it's not dead air, it's a power pause. Thank you. Because I always like swallow too fast, trying to like get it over with. I don't know. I always swallow too fast. Someone isolate that soundbite. Latinos Against Spooky Shit says the hate is what they used to season the food, Diana. Yeah, and my tears give it salt. Mike Titan says that's how you know it's good Mexican. I know, I'm sensitive though. Ken Shazam says, is Oregon nice? I'm from the Southeast, but I've convinced myself I want to move to Washington State one day. Oregon is really fucking nice, dude. Like, people will make fun of me for living in Oregon and specifically in Central Oregon and stuff, and I can't even respond with a joke. I just sit here and I just smile because it's so good and it speaks for itself if you've ever visited here. There's a reason that we're like 90% of the fucking earth porn subreddit, you know? Peasant Noodles, thank you so much for following. Also, Ethan TW says, without details, do you enjoy your day-to-day job? Yeah, I do. It works remote, so I have a lot of time to do content like during the day and stuff and not sacrifice my actual like, I'm a really fucking good worker. I'm really good at what I do. And so they give me a lot of leeway when it comes to like not actually sitting in front of my desk the full 8 hours a day because I get shit done. Latinos Against Spooky Shit wants me to roll a d20. For those who didn't see earlier, we got this little metal guy that I almost just dropped in my chow mein. Jonathan, for whatever your next task is, I hope you have a good modifier because it's a... Never mind, you don't need one. It's an 18. Oh no, it's a 13. Get fucked. It is 13. Let me know what you're trying. Sammy says, I have a degree in psychology and human services, but I'm in college for marine bio. Nice! With a focus on shark sciences. Even nicer. Turbinator says, spicy rock makes steam. Steam make turbine go roundy. Yes. And it's eco-friendly. Except for the heat pollution, or whatever they call it. Tasselhoff says, an educated content creator is an interesting content creator. Thank you. So that's why I do variety stuff. I don't really do all D&D stuff, but occasionally I'll pop in to just do really smart TikToks that share fun facts that I learned because I have so many random fun facts, especially about animals after 4 years of zoology. Mike Titan says it's like seeing a kid do homework in a Chinese food restaurant. Yeah, it's an indicator of fucking food that slaps. Deleted Music Official says human clinical trials next summer. Oh, nice. And then Seth says, is anyone else actually over 40? Identify yourself. Philly says, put on YouTube clips or something while you eat. I usually, yeah, I don't know. I could put on like a Subway Surfers, like, stream. Seth says vaguely. TK Blue says, how many people in this chat are military? Yeah, actually, I feel like I see a lot of military people in Twitch chats in general. Fenrir says, outside of Grants Pass. Oh, cool. Okay. Clever says it's not, oh yeah, okay. I think I'm getting caught up now, mildly. Jen Shazam says, I was distracted looking at LinkedIn. Did you say what you studied in university? Yeah, so my major was zoology and I graduated with honors. And then I have minors in psychology, chemistry, and professional sales. So I was business, I was liberal arts, I was, 2 kinds of science. I was all over the fucking place. And I studied in 2 or 3 different labs, I think. Nat Martinez, hello. Hi, thanks for popping in. How are you? I'm good. Good so far. Someone sent me food, which is amazing. Fenrir says, little between Grants Pass and Medford along the river is where I grew up. Gotcha. And then Rajan says it double dips. Accidentally picked up the history minor. Accidentally? Oh, yeah. The one more class and you get this minor for free thing is so much fun. Is Oregon a union-friendly state? I have no idea. I don't really look at the politics of it very much. Okay. Ken Shazam says Oregonians are 90% of the what on Reddit? I missed part of that. So there's a subreddit called Earth Porn, which is literally just really nice pictures of the earth in different spots. The Alvord Desert features on there quite often. The Oregon Mountains. There's like a fuck ton of really pretty parts of Oregon that often show up on that subreddit just because it's one of the nicest, prettiest places in the world. And I love living here. But yeah, Fenrir says, I like it. The cost of living is getting redonk, so it's not great. Definitely become more touristy and whatnot, and the housing prices are insane, and also property tax is insane because we don't have a sales tax. So there are ups and downs, but if you don't own property, which no one my age is going to ever anyway, it's really fine. Ken Shazam says, do you post your TikToks anywhere else like YouTube Shorts? I feel like I'm a year too old and missed the TikTok trend. Unfortunately not. I don't like cross-posting only because I like keeping my content. I think the only exception is Twitch, because if I don't post my VODs to YouTube, they go away after 2 weeks. And so that's more for a storage thing, but I post those on YouTube. Everything else, every other like avenue of social media I have is pretty in its own lane. Just because I don't know, it feels cheesy to try and post all my shit everywhere at once and try and spread it out. And that way people who follow me on TikTok and then also follow me on Instagram are just seeing the same shit over and over. And it feels spammy. So I try not to do that. So unfortunately not. My TikToks are just over on TikTok. Tamarathon says, why zoology? I loved animals. And it was honestly really easy. It was one of those things, I got paid to go to college for the most part, except for like 1 or 2 very small student loans I had to take on at the beginning of the very first year for housing and whatnot. And so I was like, fuck, I can really just kind of take my time and study whatever I want. And so zoology was it, because it was so easy and I loved it so much that like it wasn't hard to absorb the information because I was actually passionate about it. And like, yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't feel like I was wasting anything because I didn't feel like I paid for it. Nerd Boy says they were in comp sci. And then Seth says the Al Gore Desert. No, it's the Alvord, Alvord. It's basically, it's not really a desert. It's a big flat like dry lake bed, essentially, empty lake bed, and it's been empty for so long, and it's so like huge that you can go out there, drive your 4Runner or whatever you have, slam on the accelerator and go like 100 for like a solid while and not hit anything. There's no light out there. It's one of the darkest places in the continental US. And so you can go out there and camp for free because it's public land and see the entire arm of the Milky Way above you. It is so cool. But yeah. Deleted Music Official says 5-MeO essentially puts the brain into a dream state while conscious. That's a psychedelic component, which forces the brain to repair itself by disintegrating solidified structures, thus removing ingrained behaviors and emotions typically associated with trauma. Oh shit, that's awesome. That has some really fucking cool implications. Genshizem says, that's awesome. I have a minor, bachelor, and master's in 3 different subjects, so I get that all over the place. Yeah, it honestly prepares you for pretty much everything. I also recommend, if any of you guys are still in college, which doesn't sound like most of you, pick up a psych minor, or at the very least a psych 101 and 102 pair of classes, because it will help you out so much. I made a TikTok about that recently, but it's like, oh my god, so good. It just helps with your everyday life, really. The Goose says, Alvord, sorry. Yeah, that's the one. Fenrir says, I like how you pronounce zoology properly. Yeah, it's something you have to get used to, but zoology majors will fuck you up if you say it wrong. Shadow says, how does one sign up for trials? There is actually a website if you guys are curious to sign up for human trials of different drugs near you. Usually you get paid for them. I forget what the site is, but I think if you just Google it, there's like some FDA-backed site for it. Mr. Drip says, I have a BA honors in music. It got me nowhere. Oh, but you still learned. You had fun, I'm assuming. Kench Sam says, I did take Psych 101 as an elective. Perfect. Ned Yan says, I love your D&D backstory TikTok. Maybe think of some ideas to bring my first PC. Yeah, I forgot we're supposed to be talking about D&D. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we can continue on this tangent. It's really more of a PAX Unplugged giveaway stream, which, by the way, if you haven't popped in already, hop on over to Twitch and just type in Unplugged Badge in chat. Do it one time. You can only enter once, and then you can enter to win one of 5 free 3-day passes for PAX Unplugged. How many entrants do we have so far? 39. So the chances are still really good, because there's 5 of those to give out. It doesn't include like transportation or hotels or anything, though. You still have to get there, but you just get to go to the con itself for free, which is an $85 value. The Goose says, did you take any communication classes? Your speech is flawless and no uhs or ums. I'm just Latina. I just talk fast. I did take one speech giving class and I fucking hated it. The only speeches that I actually did well were improv speeches, which were, I was good at those. I don't know. I guess I'm just good at coming up with shit on the fly. That's straight stream of consciousness. Consciousness? That's the one. Greenski says, 38. I entered before I realized that the weekend doesn't work for me. Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah, if you guys get drawn and you're like, actually, I can't go, let me know. I can pull again. Terminator, this is also my first time using this bot to use to run a giveaway. I cannot do giveaways on Stream Elements very easily because it has like a ticketing system where you purchase entries, and I wanted to make it 1 per person. And then I didn't want to do it on TikTok because that's a bitch and a half. You have to do it manually. You have to like count comments and things like that. And so I'd rather not do that. So this is just the easiest way to do it. But if all goes well, I should be able to redraw and also draw as many people as I need to. So if something comes up, let me know. I can redraw. Turpinator says, a degree at the very least shows commitment, and the most is part of an application. The biggest thing from a degree is the experience. Yeah, a lot of jobs will just say, oh, you need a fucking 4-year degree in this thing. And the amount of times that I've gone up and been like, can it be in this thing instead? Can it be zoology? Like, I have a 4-year degree in something else, but I have a minor in this thing you're looking for, and they're like, yeah, okay, fine. That works wonders. Just having any sort of degree helps a lot. And unfortunately has become a necessity in this fucking day and age. God, I have thoughts. Endeavorance says, I want to go to PAX Unplugged. You are, my guy. God, I hope you are. If you ditch at this point, I'm going to be pissed. Genshazam says, I participated in an extra couple medical trials in university for some credit in a course. Yeah, dude, if you're at a university that has a food science program, you can sign up to do food testing and consumer testing of food type trials. And it is so much fun. I did one time where I tasted a bunch of Stroop waffles. If you don't know what a Stroop waffle is, it's like a wafer thin waffle cookie. Super sweet, super like honey flavored, and it's got a filling of caramel. And I tasted like 5 or 6 of those and gave ratings on each one for different textures, how much I liked it overall, any suggestions I had for them. I did the same thing with chocolate milk one time, and they paid me like 20 to 30 bucks for each one. So you can just show up and just like eat and get paid for it. And obviously I fucking love food. So I was like, yes, absolutely. Sign me the fuck up. They sometimes do them for alcohol too, if you have an alcohol program or a brewery program. Also, the Turfinator wants me to roll a d20, so Turfinator, your roll, for whatever you're doing, let me know, is a 2. So, condolences. Arclight says, I just realized I never entered for the badge, LMAO. Oh yeah, go for it. And Devrin says, stream of consciousness, me at a grocery store. Look, I'm not good at big words. Anything over 3 syllables, give me a break. Philly says, give it to me, I can definitely make it to PAX. I hope you entered. Absolutely, feel free to hang out. We're pulling it in about maybe 24 minutes, it looks like. And then, let's see, Devrin says, I'll be there. Good. We gotta play Red Dragon Inn. You gotta help me beat Alec at the very least, and the more people, the less focus fire there is on me, so I'm here for it. Flintmaster says, Deverance, I've heard stuff is happening at PAX Unplugged. God, I hope not. Also, Random Aston says, mildly disagreeing with Diana. One of my friends went to trade school and makes 6 digits as an industrial mechanic. Another one of my buddies owns a plumbing business and makes more money than most people with degrees. Oh yeah, I consider trade school an education or a degree of some sort. I'm like, that's a whole other thing. If I could push more people into trade school, I would. In fact, I did a lot when I was in college. I don't know if they liked me doing this, but I was a tour guide essentially for underrepresented, minorities and things like that who were trying to get, basically they were doing like kids and stuff from less, disadvantaged groups who visited my school and wanted to talk to people like them. And so being low income and being Latina, I would lead these tours guiding these, people from kindergarten age to actually about to graduate high school through campus and asking them questions, being like, all right, well, what do you want to do? Like, can we help you with that? A lot of times they would come up and be like, I actually want to go into the arts or I want to go into journalism. And I'd be like, yeah, well, our school is not good for that, but I recommend this other school. Or they'd be like, yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm just here to make money. And I'm like, you don't have to go to college. Like, it's an option and we'll help you as best we can, but like, don't feel like you need to. Go into trade school. So like, it's a really fucking good option. Especially if you're not like the studying type. If you can't make it work for you, there are other options. And I feel like OSU in particular was not good about making, and school in general, the school system is not good about pushing people into non-school options, or not like 4-year degree options, which is really unfortunate because we do need, plumbers and mechanics and shit. We can't just ignore that. Dracobane says, definitely wish I could go. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Mr. Nick says, the Red Dragon Inn is so much fun. Yeah, it's like, oh my god, my absolute favorite tabletop game, my little card game. Simi says, someone said beat Alex. I'm in. Or Alec. I'm in. Yeah, so this last stream, Huntacam, I believe, donated, what was it, $30? Maybe it was 15 to buy me an expansion for the Red Dragon Inn. It's called the Changeling. Essentially, it's like the Druid expansion. Because Alec keeps playing the fucking overpowered Gurky card, the Gurky deck, and I wanted to do the Changeling deck to have a chance of not blacking out trying to play him. Omega Total says, it's unfortunate that so many trades look down on by beginners. Yeah. Yeah, Malika says, I have a college degree and am in a trade. Canadian People says the trades make good money and the benefits are often really good on top of it. Depending on who you work for, yeah. Clever says, our group is on a Catan kick with different expansions. It's gotten real competitive. Yeah, I fucking love expansions for games. I'm so upset that Baldur's Gate 3 is probably not going to have DLC. But at least the modding community is really good about getting up on, working on that. I saw someone made a Kobold expansion on TikTok and that was cool. The Terminator said, when I'm out of the military, I won't be making money from my degree. It'll be the industry certs in nuclear safety and industrial hygiene. Certs are really important. After college education and whatnot is insane. It's really helpful, and it's like, it'll give you an edge up when you don't have like a master's degree or something like that. Northwolf 911, thank you for the follow. I think I missed that earlier. John says, what were you in college for over on TikTok? I was in college for zoology. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of really fun facts, and I always brag that I could train someone's own dog to hate them, given like enough time. And so I mostly did it for animal behavior. Greenski says the trades are way short of skilled professionals too. I worked for a college for a while and we had companies call us begging us to post jobs to our students. Random Aston said it was a choice in my hometown. You could go to high school or trade school. My dumbass went to high school. Greenski says tech college, that is. Oh, gotcha. Dracobane says, trades can be great, but can also be really physically taxing. Yeah, you do have to save up your money and save, because you might have to retire a little bit earlier than you intend to, is what I assume the situation is. Dracobane says, also former OSU student here. Yeah. It's a really good college for some things, really shit for others. Shadowdown says, even in my field, we are recommending more to go to trade school. Oh, awesome. I love that. Turfinator says, the degree came because of the math. I did the math and I realized I could waive or test for 3/4 of the credits. Just needed to study rocks more. I love that for you. Fenrir says, yeah, I have an associate's that I'm not going to use. My career goals are all certificates that are just a test now. Don't going to spend hours learning about shit I don't care about. Which is so annoying. Like, people having to learn, like, oh, God, physics. I fucking hate physics, dude. Thankfully it wasn't a huge part of my degree, but it was enough that I God, it's just useless. You don't use it. I hated it. Mike Titan says, learn to weld. Yeah, oh God, welding's dangerous though, isn't it? Yeah, Omega Total says, welders can make good money, but the work can be uncomfortable and sometimes hard on your back/body. Electricians think a lot too. Yeah, I've got a cousin who's an electrician, and that was, yeah, he got into it, and after less than a year of his apprenticeship, I'm pretty sure it was, he bought his dad a big flat screen TV and himself a car. It's absurd. But he was also in a small town that desperately needed tradesmen. So, all right, let me skip down here a little bit. Gun Shazam says, you don't think BG3 will have any DLCs? I thought they said that they wouldn't, but that might have been a rumor. True Shot Jr. says, what's your favorite animal fact? Yeah, that hyenas have to reach around, female hyenas, when they give birth. Their birth canal is too small to actually like effectively give birth to pups. And they usually give birth in pairs. And so in order to let the pups out, they have to reach around with their teeth and tear open their uterus, basically, to let the pups out. Their birth canal does not expand enough to let them out. And a lot of times, one or both of the pups will suffocate while through the birthing process. So it's really fucking metal, but it's my favorite animal fact ever. If you guys ever get the chance, read Mother Nature is Trying to Kill You. It is... Koreansky says that's not the most fun fact. I have so many more horrible facts from Mother Nature is Trying to Kill You. It's a really good book. I forget the author's name, but like it's got like a picture of the earth on the cover, and it's like a really cheesy, like graphic design is my passion type cover, but it's such a good book. It's my favorite in existence because it is a really entertaining way to lay out a bunch of really fucked up animal facts and basically be like, hey, by the way, we all think of nature as this really pure, wholesome, every animal loves every other animal type thing, and that is not at all how nature works. Nature is brutal. It also goes over the Coreops fungus, I'm pretty sure. Micro Trumpet says, I got my degree in zoology, then I worked as a GM at McDonald's for 13 years, now I work at a bank. Guess I'll never use my degree. It takes a lot of finagling to make it work. So I recommend, what I did with my zoology degree and what I tell other people to do is don't expect to go into a zoology related field. I dropped that notion, like I think even before I hit the ground in college, unless you're doing research and unless you're going on to like a 4-year or a master's or a PhD where you can do research, you won't work at a zoo. You won't work as an animal trainer, you won't work at the Humane Society, and even if you do get into those extremely high demand jobs, you won't get paid enough. This is turning into a career fair. So sorry. But what you can do is, depending on the place that you went to school, you can tell potential employers that it is functionally the same as a biology degree, which it is. The only difference is that you don't work on the micro scale, so you don't have microbio stuff, but you also didn't learn physics, so you didn't have to sit through physics. I think of that as a positive. But other than that, all of my classes are functionally the same as bio classes, and so I can get into any field that requires a bio degree, as long as I get up to the interview part, which isn't hard for me personally, but that is a really good way to leverage zoology degrees for anyone thinking about it out there. Just don't go into it thinking you're going to work at a zoo, because it's not worth it. Zookeepers get paid functionally minimum wage because a lot of people take advantage of the fact that they get a fun job. It's thankless, you work holidays, you work nights. It's not a great career to be in because it's really mistreated. It's like same vibe as being a teacher or a nurse. Not as bad, but like not it's taken advantage of. So as long as you don't go into it with hopes of doing that and you're realistic about it, you can have a lot of fucking fun in those classes. Cthulhu Hooks, thank you so much for following. Alrighty, let's skip down here. Omega says welding isn't really dangerous. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of like underwater welding or some such thing. Bad Panda says me, an engineer. Yeah, fuck physics. Dracoblaze says construction plays hella with overtime if you don't mind the hours. Yeah, and then you can bury a body in the foundation of some building somewhere, so I hear. Canadian People says that I have 5 bachelors and 1 master's, and I'm not using any of them currently. Thankfully, my job is really fulfilling. Holy shit. That's wild. Terminator says, topic change. If you could live in any WotC setting, which one would you do? For me, I'd want to live in the Kamigawa for the cool moon people. I'm a slut for fantasy settings. So I think whatever one they had that was like based on fairy tales would be pretty cool, or just Sword Coast would be pretty sick. That's what I'm most familiar with, and I feel like I could live pretty well as a druid there. You never hear about druids getting attacked. It's only cities. Elturel and all that. Nah, fuck that. I'll live in the woods. Seth says, the best fact is the definition of dinosaur. Oh god, yeah, that's... I think that I remember there being something weird about that. Fenrir says, calm down, Halson. Turfinator says, no zoology degree, and I go with zoologists / animal trainers wrestling snakes in the Everglades. That's the thing. Like, also with the zoology degree, like, it doesn't... Most of the things you do that aren't directly related to research or in support of research or in, like, a veterinarian track, you can do that by volunteering at an animal shelter for, like, 3 years, and then they'll take you. And honestly, they prefer the hands-on stuff way more than they prefer an actual zoology degree unless you're going into something that requires a relationship to research. So yeah, it's unfortunate, the state of that particular field, but I don't regret going into it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Because I didn't pay for it and I have a lot of fun. Brandon Masson says, I love physics. That makes one of us. And Dracoblaze says, we went from D&D to dating to food to career fair, taking bets on what the next topic is. Cthulhu says, wrestling snakes, is your name Jake? Oh, is that a TikToker? or some such. Mr. Nick says, dating advice to career fairs, you get a lot of inspiration for D&D backgrounds from Diane of the Rose. Yeah, so that's part of the reason I feel like I make such a good DM is I can pull from a bunch of random shit that I have in my backstory. But yeah. Canadian people wants me to hydrate. I'm also gonna take another bite of food if that's okay. You guys are gonna have to sit with the music for a sec. I'll turn it up. Dracobane says, OMG, D&D job fair. That's basically what I went to last weekend. All right, here, listen to the music. I'm gonna eat. Jonathan, if you're still here, entertain the people. Let's see. Jake the Snake was a famous professional wrestler. Oh, okay. Jacobane says, I laugh at the fact that all of my biochemistry friends had real problems with OChem, but for some reason it's easier than the entry chemistry or bio classes for me. Dude, props to you. OChem's not easy. That's awesome. Billy says, dive welding Paisley. Gotcha. It's Marathon says, fuck OChem, it can fuck right off. Cthulhu says, fairy tales, you want dolmen wood. Okay, gotcha. And Seth says, do we have the counter? We do not. It's Marathon says, and I say that having a minor in chem and a functional understanding of it. Also, Swindleberg has popped into chat for the first time and said, running a spooky one-shot for Friday the 13th. Any recs for a horror-themed one-shot that isn't related to Curse of Strahd or Death House? I believe there's, if you're doing like specifically D&D, there's another one-shot called, oh god, it's in the, it's in Van Richten's. It's called like, it's another spooky haunted house thing though, but I think they designed it specifically for one-shots because I think they realized how much they need to capitalize on holiday-specific things and themes. I believe it's House of Lament. Yeah, House of Lament. That's another one. I haven't looked into it and I've never heard of anyone actually really playing it, but that would be something that isn't Curse of Strahd or Death House. Turfinator says, if anyone, you can also look online. There's a lot of free ones on Reddit. Turfinator says, if everyone is a D&D character, what would be your race/class combo? Someone told me I'd be an Alondran Rogue, and I'm honestly kind of down with it. That's what I'm playing in the West Marches campaign that I'm a part of. Gen Shazam says, can I choose Candlekeep? I just get to read books and gain magic/fantasy knowledge all day. Sounds amazing. ... Dang, I'm a nerd. Clever says, any trade underwater pays crazy. Yeah, diving is a whole thing. If you have like your diver's license, which I have also, add that to the list of shit that I learned in college. I learned how to dive. But it can be dangerous, you know, if you don't do it right. Seth says, the current definition of dinosaur is any species descended from the last common ancestor of both the house sparrow and stegosaurus. Whoa, that's cool. Schmetzy says, yeah, do a dance or something. And Devrin says, what food is eat? I should turn that music again. There we go. So I'm gonna turn myself up a smidge. Yeah, someone sent Panda Express. I still don't know who it is. No one stepped forward. But thank you so much, because this is my favorite. Seth says, sorry, I misspoke. It was Triceratops. Oh, gotcha. I'm a Stegosaurus fan anyway. If I had to choose a favorite dinosaur, it'd be a Stegosaurus, and there's no zoological explanation for it. They're just fucking rad. Fenrir says, honestly, I've always loved Kryn. Guess I'm just a glutton for punishment like that. I'm gonna try not to die on stream. If I do, one of you guys has to call the cops. Gen Shazam says, non-stock related entertainment preferably. Simi says, stats was the bane of my existence. God, stats. Holy shit. We have to learn R. For any of you guys who know what R is, I am so sorry. I fucking hated R. God, stats classes were the fucking worst. Oh, okay. Well, now I'm mad at stats. I gotta stop talking about college, guys. I don't want to relive my college days. Terminator says, Ravenloft Guide has a one-shot. Yeah, so that'd be House of Lament. But best of luck. And yeah, someone else said, don't do D&D for horror stuff. Yeah, there's other games. Dread is really good. Arclight says, the same radioactive liquid that made Daredevil lose his vision is the same chemical that made the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Also, The Office is canon in the Batman comic book world. Arc, I'm glad that one of us is like a comic nerd because I cannot be. Simi says, Divers Unite. Starter Adventure of Curse of Strahd is pretty awesome for a Halloween one-shot. Yeah, so that'd be Death House. I do really like it as a one-shot, but it almost never turns out to be a one-shot. It would take it took us, I think, 3 or 4 sessions to get through it. Unless your party is really good about like moving things along and like not paying attention to every possible clue that could be there. Turfinator says, I put my body in every ocean, now I gotta hit every sea. And Devrin says, I want a house sparrow. What that rules. Oh, talking about, yeah, got it. Turfinator says, I haven't seen the Mediterranean, but I want to badly. Fenrir says, I got certified for scuba, but then never went because no one else in my life is certified. That is a problem. Yeah, it's not, like super common depending on obviously what part of the world we live in. If you're in a landlocked state, no one has a diver's license. But in my town, there's a really cool thing where there's a conglomerate of divers who, there's a river that runs through town, and you can like essentially lose a bunch of shit floating the river during the summertime and things like that. And there's like a whole set of divers who will for free dive down into the river where you think you lost your phone or whatever, and they'll find it for you. They're like freelance, just good guys. Simi says, my side gig is a dive tech at a local aquarium. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I've seen a lot of dive techs also double as like mermaids for kids and things like that. Brandon Masson says, oh yeah, nice. Panda Express. Balance out yesterday's salad. Yin yang and harmonious balance and all that. I finished the rest of the salad this morning for lunch. Thank you so much. Brandon Masson is a big, the champion of my, my diet at the moment, and also the single controller of what nutrients I get. That's a deck of many things. We are going to get the Taraka deck first in tactical, wherever the fuck it went. Oh my god. Here we go. Also, Pentawhale just subbed with Prime. Thank you so much, Pentawhale. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I tend to say that a lot. I either say hello, hello, or welcome, welcome, I found out. Which is fine. If I'm going to be known for something, that's an easy thing to be known for. Gensha Sam says, Triceratops and Stegosaurus were my favorites as a kid. And then Griffin says, Morkborg is really amazing for horror and is pretty rules-liked. We are. Okay. So, Syntactical, if you haven't already, let me know what question you want answered by the Taraka deck, and I will do my best to pull a card and interpret it for you based off of the actual interpretations in the rules. I won't be doing a full reading of 5 cards, but just go ahead and drop it in chat and at me if you can, so that way I see it a little bit easier. And then I'm still reading through chat, so it might take me a second to catch up, but let me know what you think. Squingleberg says, can't do Curse of Strahd because I ran it for this group already. Had a blast, but I'm super glad to be done with it. Yeah, it's a hefty module. Okay. Cthulhu says, Deadlands is amazing. It practically invented the Weird West. I do want to see more like West style stuff. I think that'd be super fun. Catlinaw says, the party I was in burnt Death House down. Yeah, the thing about Death House is if you burn it down, it regenerates in like a certain number of days, right? I also will say we have about 6 minutes left in the giveaway. If you guys haven't already, be sure to enter into the giveaway by typing in unplugged badge in chat. We are giving away, oh my god, my fucking thing is not reversed and I'm not used to it. Type in unplugged badge in chat to get one of 5 free 3-day badges to PAX Unplugged. PAX Unplugged is going to be in Philadelphia, December 1st through 3rd. I'm going to be there. All your favorite TTRPG creators are going to be there. We're all going to be hanging out and partying together. And if you see me, feel free to come say hi, whether or not you win a badge. All you would have to do if you do get picked is give me your first and last name and email address. So as long as you're comfortable with that, absolutely go ahead and apply. Get in there. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff. Fenrir Starker says, gotta have a tagline. Them's the rules as a content creator. I'm working on it. Terminator says, favorite accent to give your PCs or NPCs? Yeah, 24-year-old American girl. I really don't do accents very well. It's like my major weakness as a DM. I mostly lean into non-accent descriptions. I made a video about this once. Basically talking about how instead of talking, using an accent, I'll describe the person's physicality as they're speaking. So how they like hunch over, how their eyebrows move, and kind of portray feeling the same way that an author would if they were writing a book. Phil, yes, just type unplugged badge, no exclamation mark at the front, and then it should be able to help you out. It is straight up just the term unplugged badge, no spaces, no quotes, and that should be able to work for you. More feels and folly says, every time I lean into an accent for a character, it becomes more caricature than character. That's what I'm afraid of. I'm also not good at that sort of thing. Is that the rain? It looks like you're in. Yeah, you're set. You're good. And Phil, you're in as well. So we're coming down to it. Let's see how many people we got. We got 45 total entries and 5 badges to give away. God, this is exciting. I hope it works. Fenrir Starker says, for some reason the easiest accent for me to do is Creole. I don't know what a Creole accent sounds like. Mike Titan says, all my accents end up Russian and Irish. Ash Rainey says, I remember breaking Dead House when I first played it. Circle of the Moon Druid at level 3. Tanking your way through all those traps was a piece of cake. Oh yeah, that'll happen. I love the fact that like being a druid and wild shaping kind of like stacks on top of your hit points. It's awesome. For those of you who are in TikTok live, if you hop over to Twitch, that's where you can actually enter the giveaway. Unfortunately, I can't do a giveaway via TikTok because it's not built for that. But be sure to hop over to Twitch. You have a couple minutes left. Zetharian? You were one of the first people to say my username correctly. I can't remember. Zetharian? Zetharian. I forgot how I said it already. I'm so sorry. Terminator says, for throwaway NPCs, caricatures are golden. Yeah. Otherwise, your character, your party will latch onto them really fucking hard. Also, Shadow, you want a D20? I will give you a D20 roll. Here we are, my friend. You get, oh, fuck. That is a 14. These dice are really hard to read. I need to paint in these numbers. Look at that. You can't tell what that says. Anyway. My Lord 90 says that TikTok you did on describing body language helped me so much. I can only do my normal American or Irish. Yeah, and if you guys are curious to learn about accents, how to do voices on TikTok, I gave them a shout out once. He's a friend. He's amazing at what he does because he's an actual voice actor, and his advice isn't just, you know, oh, just practice your accent. You'll do great. He actually gives like legitimate tips on how to learn accents and how to kind of like cobble them together using different techniques, you know, like speaking in a different part of your mouth and things like that, I imagine. All right, 2 minutes left in the giveaway. In the meantime, Swingleberg says, I've kickstarted a Western RPG a while back called Manifest the RPG. Still haven't played it, but it looks really cool. Oh man, yeah, the amount of awesome games on Kickstarter is so cool. Morpheus and Volley says, the voices you regret immediately as the voice becomes popular. Yeah. Fenrir says, Louisiana, also known as Cajun. Think a fire and brimstone preacher or a gambit. Oh, okay. Trepanator says, yeah, LMAO, I had a magic sword with no buffs, just had the voice of a certain orange man. Oh, they stole it and I had to voice it for 5 games until it broke. Did it break intentionally? Also, Endeavorance, right before the giveaway ends, wants me to roll a potion d20. This is the first time we're rolling it today. So if you guys aren't aware, the potion d20 is just me rolling a d20 that I got. It's basically a d20 in a bottle. It floats in a little like sparkly bit of water. I got it from Dragon's Nest Delivery. Here we are. It's settled right now, but it's actually glow in the dark too. A glow in the dark d20 floating in it. So let's get the glitter all mixed up there. It's got a nice wax seal on top. And essentially the way this one works is you just like shake it and drop it upside down and read it at the top. Endeavorance, you got a 16. I think that's one of the higher ones that people got from this potion d20. I'm not good at rolling it. Greenskew says, random question, what's your favorite paladin subclass? I mean, right now I'm playing Oathbreaker on my Monday streams. Beyond that, I don't know. I haven't played a paladin before. I kind of want to now. I really haven't explored it. Genshazam says, tried to enter again and nothing happened, so I assumed it worked the first time and I just have whispers off. Yeah, let me double check, see if I can... Oh my gosh, I can... Yeah, 45 unique entries. It should work. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, what time is it? 1 minute. All right, I gotta kill time for a minute. Greenskew says, random... Oh, right, I read that. Shadow says, all right, I'm gonna go cook dinner. Have a good night, Dinah. If you watch that thing, don't judge me too hard. I'll try not to, but I will watch it. Tamarathon says, it's huge. We only have the best swords, the best... Oh god, yeah, I'm not doing that accent. Fenrir says, there was a beta program I found on Reddit that would analyze your voice waves and help you with accents. I haven't used it in a while. I wonder if they've updated it. Ooh. Weird. I wonder if you have to give it permission or something. All right, giveaway is closed. Let's see. I don't want to... Oh my god, Moobot, stop giving me ads. It's like, oh, your giveaway is done? Here, let me show you how you can subscribe to Moobot. And I'm like, fuck off. Terminator says, Oath of the Open Seas. I like boats. Oh, solid. Okay, so let's see. I think Simi says, I missed it. Did I make it in? Let me figure out... Oh, it exports the JSON file? Ew. Can I even open that? I don't think I can. Oh, nope, that's just the giveaway actual, like, code, not the people in it. Okay, so I guess we'll just have to pull and see what happens. So, let's manage it. Giveaway is closed. And then let's go ahead and, oh my god. Should I turn up the music or turn down the music? Is .json pronounced Jason? I don't know how else you would pronounce it. Mike says Jason Derulo. All right. Number one, No, turn it up? Okay, yeah, fine. I've never done a giveaway before. This is so exciting. Okay, should I wait for a bass drop? Righto. So, everyone, thank you so much for your entries. Again, if you're not here and you win, and you're watching the video later and you're like, holy shit, I missed it, I'm gonna message everyone. Like, I'll try and, like, whisper to people or send them a message, whatever Twitch's inherent messenger thing is. So that way you don't miss out. But, first entrant... Simi, you actually got it! Holy shit, yeah! Oh my god, amazing. Good job. Great fucking manifestation there, girl. TD's idea. Yeah, you got it. Congratulations. We're gonna see you at PAX. All three of us. Oh my god, it's me, Alec, and Hama are all gonna be there. Simi, good work. All right, so that's one. Simi, if you can, go ahead and message me your first and last name. I believe they need to be legal names, so actually on your ID. And then your email, and then PAX Unplugged is going to reach out. So check your spam every once in a while. I think they'll confirm it. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, let me breathe first. Okay, yeah, no rush. You have until, you can do it whenever. I run into enough that you're fine. All right, number 2 of 5 is going to go to Palpatine's Fist. Palpatine, are you still here? No breathing, only redeeming. Congratulations, Palpatine. I don't know if you're still here. If not, I'll message you. Let me go ahead and actually announce these. There's like a little button I can press. So, next one. Calebra693, who I believe just subscribed today. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for entering, Calebra. Glad to have you, glad that you joined the community, and yeah, same deal, I'll message you later and get your info from you. All I really need is an email and first and last name, so it's nothing to, and I'll purge the info from my mind if you're like curious about your, cautious about your personal info. So that's 3 of 5. I would do a drum roll here, but I'm too lazy to get the soundbite for it. So, number 4 of 5. Again, 45 total entries here. Let's get second to last out there. Flint Masters! Flint Masters, thank you so much for entering. I've seen you hop around in chat before, so it's so glad to have you. So glad that you're gonna make it out to PAX U. Yeah, congrats, dude. Awesome to have you all. Oh, I'm so glad that these are like people I like know participate too, as opposed to just swinging by and then leaving. You know, it's good to have people who are part of the community, because then hopefully they'll actually be able to say hi to you. Flint, congratulations. All right, and then we got one more badge to give away. Last one is gonna go to Ashong. Ashong? I think I recognize you though. Congratulations. Okay, Simi says I think I had a heart attack. Please don't. I can't be responsible for that. But Mike says if only there were 7. Yeah, okay, well, awesome. I mean, thank you so much. I will say, other creators, especially ones who have announced that they're going to be going to PAX U, keep an eye out. Anyone, not everyone who got a creator badge, but a lot of people who got creator badges to PAX U were also given the opportunity to do their own giveaways. So keep an eye on your favorite TTRPG TikTokers. Keep an eye out for announcements from, I don't know if I hear of anyone, and, you know, I'll try and pass the word on if I know that we have like community overlap. But in any case, once again, that was Ashong, Flint Masters, Calebra693, Palpatine's Fist, and Simi Freeze 1. Thank you all so much for participating, whether or not you won. There were 45 of you, which is awesome. Again, you know, if I don't message, you can message me your info first, otherwise I'll reach out and get it from you within the next day or two. Congratulations, everyone. I can't wait to see you all there. If you see me wandering around, absolutely say hi, because it's gonna be a lot of fun. Again, PAX Unplugged is happening December 1st through 3rd in Philadelphia. I don't really know what's in Philadelphia, but yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much. I don't think I want to end the stream, to be fully honest. I think I'm just gonna end that giveaway and get. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and whisper you guys right now. The rest of you can take a breather. Simi, take a sec. Mike Titan says cheesesteaks and eagles. Got it. My 2 favorite things, I guess. All right. Well, awesome. Canadian people, says probably some roads and billings. And then also, Chelsea Hay 93 just gifted a couple subs to the community. Thank you so much. So, God, we're like at 15 for our goal too. What a great stream. Thank you all for hanging in there. Oh, Clever says you have whispers blocked by strangers. I do? Fucking Twitch. All right, hold on. Account settings. Let's get this fixed. Security and privacy. No, I don't want to block whispers from strangers. There we go. All right, it should be good now. But yeah, I have all your guys's. I'm gonna also take a screenshot of this just in case I lose it. But it should link me straight to y'all. But yeah, thank you all so much. Oh gosh, my alerts. Alifu, thank you so much for the follow. Also, TDS Idea Machines, thank you so much. Let me turn down the music a little bit now that the hype's over. Mike Titan says, do a roast pork sandwich though. They are superior to cheesesteaks. Ooh, okay. I do also have to get boba. So if you guys have any boba spots in Philly, well, I don't have to get boba. Chris owes me 7 bobas. So make him suffer if you can. But yeah, I would love to hear your guys' recommendations since we're all going to be hanging out there. Seth says, can I derail with an off-the-wall question that was brought up earlier? Sure. And then Turfinator says, I don't know if I'm going to drive or fly if I go to this one. It's right in that zone where I could do either. I recommend having a car for cons, just so you can explore town and whatnot. I don't know if you've been there before. Uber plus flight might equal the gas money, says Turfinator. Gotcha. I know parking's probably not going to be great anywhere you go, though. Drew says, I got to follow on Twitch. I just found your TikTok today and the D&D, which I'll play in an hour. Oh, awesome. Well, yeah, welcome to the party. Yeah, most of the stuff's over on Twitch. I should probably get rid of this PAX Unplugged giveaway info, too. One sec. Marathon says, Country Kitchen and Reading Terminal Market. Someone mentioned that the other day. Rich's recommendation for a PAX U breakfast. Ooh. I almost never have breakfast at PAX U, though, or at other cons. I'm always doing too much running around, and I'm always up till like 5 every morning playing games with the other creators and things like that, and hanging out and partying. So breakfast is always up in the air, but I will do my best to eat. TD or machines is fine. Okay, solid. I'll try and go for machines. Turfinator says, I've been to Philly enough times to not want to drive once I'm there. Yeah, I get the sense that that's how it goes. Okay, let's get rid of all this PAX U logo and giveaway info. We'll just, do I want to remove 5 items? Yes, OBS, get it out of here. There we go. God, I love OBS. Now that I've learned how to actually use it, it's been nice. Okay. So there's that. I'm gonna get rid of it off of the, oh my gosh. Off of the TikTok stream as well. Yes, delete, please. Yes, I am sure. Great. I also gonna update the stream info real fast. D&D variety stream. It's not really a D&D variety stream. We've covered so many bases that are not D&D at this point, but oh well. Come join Dynamite of the Rose for a chat about D&D amongst other things. Done. Yay. Okay. Mayo says, a stream on a Tuesday? Who are you and what have you done with Diana? We do Tuesday streams now. It's supposed to be a D&D variety stream. This one was more aimed towards PAX U. Oh! Baggage! Thank you so much! Wait, someone named Mike of unknown origin, just tipped, is that the Mike? Just tipped $75, so now I have to update my dono goal as well. Yeah, so this whole stream was less D&D based, but we did still talk about D&D quite a bit. I'm still answering your guys' questions as they come up, because I love doing that. It's my favorite fucking thing. And then, yeah, beyond that, it was mostly a fundraiser for PAX U, which is now basically taken care of by Mike, that pays for baggage. I still need to raise money for hotels, so that might be the next goal. But I'll get rid of it tomorrow, because I know people aren't super inclined to donate towards, like, nebulous things like going to cons that I'm gonna be at anyway. Yeah, shit, thank you, Mike. That's fucking awesome. So now I can actually take my games and stuff with me, which is so cool. Okay, wait, so let me pop this in. But yeah, it's kind of a D&D variety stream, kind of a PAX U stream. We are talking about TTRPGs in general today, and mostly the fact that we're going to PAX Unplugged along with 5 of our wonderful audience members. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out and for participating. I didn't realize giveaways would be so easy with MooBot, so maybe I'll do that in the future too, maybe with some brand deals or anything if you guys like that sort of thing. PAX U travel, let's change it to Airbnb. Whoops. Or maybe like Party House. Nah, Airbnb sounds good. I don't really know what the goal for that one should be. It would be more like, for 4 days, it'd be like 200, I think. I want to say. I'm also the one fronting all the money for the Airbnb this time around because I don't know. I have more of a capability to do that than some of my friends, so I tend to be a little bit more cool with that sort of thing, but we're hoping to recoup our losses here. Okay. Oh, it was Mike Titan. Oh, well, thank you so much, Mike. Seth said, oh, it got mentioned. What would an OnlyFans D&D stream look like? Well, it wouldn't be a stream. An OnlyFans, like a D&D based OnlyFans, I think it would mostly be just the fact that I am a nerd. Maybe like wearing the Hot Girls Play D&D sweater and then nothing under it. I feel like that'd be pretty hot. Beyond that, I'm out of idea. It would be me behind a DM. I don't know. I don't want to think about this. I got some ideas and none of them are good. Cause I don't know. It's not my forte. I'm a smiley, funny gal who's got some good ideas for D&D stuff, and that doesn't translate well to sex work, unfortunately. Also, Kitty666 Love, thank you so much for following. Same with Dragneth and Alifu, if I haven't said hi already. Welcome, welcome. Tamarathon says, I gotta go hit the gym. Looking forward to seeing people at PAX. Yeah, looking forward to see you too. I haven't signed up for anything. I think I might be on a panel with Cast Party, but they haven't contacted me. Turfinator says, I recently took a trip to Maine and got hooked up with so much lobster. Yeah, dude, I went to Boston for work not too long ago, and that was the first time I had a lobster roll, and it was so good. So fucking good. We don't have those on the West Coast. Machine says, what kind of TTRPG other than D&D have you tried or like, or maybe want to try? So I'm playing Monster Hearts next Tuesday and the Tuesday after. So this stream will be replaced by hopefully a host stream of Monster Hearts, which is going to be run by Madaloon, and then I'm going to be joined by Ivy, Gamer Raider Girl, Kiki from Kiki Do Stuff, James, Kiki's partner. I already mentioned Maddie, Hannah from Hannah Does D&D, and then, of course, myself, all playing Monster Hearts together. I don't know if Monster Hearts is wild because it's a lot more improv, and I'm not sure, I don't think I'm good at improv without being drunk. Speaking of which, I should drink. Don't read into that. I did also play Dread on live, which I still need to cut into a TikTok size video so that way I can show you guys some of the highlights because there were some fucking funny moments. Holy shit, that was such a good stream. It was over on Total Party Chill's channel. I think the VOD is still up. And if not, again, I'll cut it up a little bit. Dragneth says, hi, I'm Drew from TikTok. Oh, hey, I'm glad you made the leap over. Welcome, welcome. Also, Mike Titan wants me to roll a potion D20. Yeah, I can do that. Give me a quick sec. Oh my gosh, I'm also gonna... There we go. I'm so hungry. I haven't had a chance to eat. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dragneth, what's your question? I also never drew one for, Oh wait, no. Potion D20. Here we go. I don't know if Sin Tactical is still here. I might just draw one for them while they're gone, because they asked me to do the Taraka deck, and I never did because they didn't ask a question. But for the Potion D20 from Dragon's Nest Delivery... I'm gonna roll for a really long time so I can chew. Okay. It's a 10. Straight up a 10. There you go, Mike Titan. Better than a 10. Sorry. I mean, straight 10. Maybe you have a bonus. We'll say you have a +2. Mike says I'll take it. Sorry. But that's a Potion D20 for you. That thing is expensive, too. It takes a lot of channel points. Dragness says, are you asking me a question, or am I asking you one? What do you mean? Also, I gotta catch up. Terminator says, Maine is my respawn point. Florida is just the level I'm on right now. Good. It's a tough level, says Mike. Absolutely. Machine says, started a Tales from the Loop game with my longtime players. It's been a blast. I've never heard of it, but I really want to get into more TTRPGs. If you guys have recommendations for ones that are lighter weight and easy to learn, like Dread or Monster Hearts is probably my upper limit of games that I can learn within a week or so of trying, please let me know, because I want to learn more so I can talk to you guys about those too. Terminator says we need to get Alex Perlman to PAX. Need to meet my favorite angry TikTok man. Oh, is that like the angry news guy? Yeah, he must be a gamer. I feel like he's got gamer vibes. Bluebeard's Bride is also a new TTRPG to me. I've never heard of it, but it sounds fun. Turfinator said, lived in Dover, New Hampshire for a while. Great state. And then Clever says, gotta see which of my friends I can talk into coming with and spending money on nerd shit. Dude, the amount of money I spent on dice. Oh my god. Mike Titan says, is that the one CR did? Yeah, so I haven't watched it, but someone sent me a clip of it. It's apparently really good. Depth and Breadth of Seth says, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to ask what your OnlyFans D&D would look like, Diana. I don't know what an OnlyFans, I mean, that's what I would do. It'd probably do well. We got 95 people here. I'm sure the conversion rate's high. Mayo says, I'm desperate to get more people into Pathfinder 2E. Just a god tier system if you learn the differences between the rules of action economy and things like that. Yeah, I can't. I mean, 3.5, it's based off 3.5, right? People like go hard for the nostalgia over 3.5. So I imagine it's pretty cool. And then Nerdboy says, Warhammer Dark Tide is really good for a co-op shooter in the Warhammer universe. I'm more of an Age of Sigmar gal, based off of vibe alone. My lord says, any tips for how to get over writer's block as a DM? Plagiarize. They say, I'm hella stuck for my next session. Absolutely plagiarize. So what I do, I go to a couple different sources for info. It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a full plot line, go to, and this is, I'm giving away something that I was going to do in a future stream. Go look at tvtropes.com, find a trope, and then build a story around that trope. You're going to work from basically backwards. And it will create a really fucking cool story. And I'll show you guys how to do this on a later stream, because this is one of the things that I really wanted to workshop with you guys, because it's so cool. It's how I build a lot of my characters too. But I would look at TV tropes as like inspiration. And if that doesn't work, I usually get inspo from Magic the Gathering cards, you know, movies. You can take like the basic plot of a movie, break it down into step 1, step 2, step 3, it happened in the plot, lay them all out. Fill in the characters that were involved with your own characters, add new ones, take away old ones, and then instead of making it a straight shot from one plot point to another, add little divots, add little, you're gonna like make it weave in and out of side quests, different locations, you know, things like that. Without making it seem too much like a fetch quest, you can add meat to a basic premise over time. But just get that skeleton going, you know. Fenrir says, my wife will be back from work soon, so gotta get dinner made. Have a great night. Yeah, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. And then Machine says, Dread looks hella fun. It is so much fun. Though looking at Jenga Tower in my game bag sounds like a poor boy's death knell. It's not great. I do want to buy Jenga. Maybe I should add that as the next Dona goal. Get a Jenga set so that way I can play Dread with my actual friends who don't want to play D&D with me. My real life friends. Storm Reflex, welcome to chat. They say, any advice on making homebrew items? I'm just having a hard time. Yeah, I would build them around your characters. So I usually do it, so I come up with, you know, my characters in my D&D campaigns, the players that I run with, they usually have their own themes. So if someone really likes being a fire wizard, kind of working around that, try and look up items on 5e tools, don't tell anyone I said that, about, you know, go to their items page, look up, or D&D Beyond, and look up every item there is in the game that relates to fire in some way or has the keyword fire, for instance, if you got a fire wizard. And then kind of like cobble bits and pieces from different items together. So instead of having like a gem that gives you a +1 to your fire attacks or whatever, maybe make it like a sash or something that they would use that looks cool. Honestly, players just love shit that looks cool. The functionality of it, as long as you're not like going crazy, you know, on the rarity levels and the power and things like that. It really, players just like shiny things that match their aesthetic. Cthulhu says, Call of Cthulhu has a big book, but it's super easy to learn. The basics of the game are in the free quick start rules too. Oh shit, I should read those because I'm also going to be in a Call of Cthulhu game with our one and only Pluto Cleric, also known as Paige, GMing it. So that'll be at the end of the month. I'll give more announcements as it gets confirmed, but we are going to be doing a horror one-shot. So I'm in a lot of actual plays recently. You guys should check them out. I'll try and post more about them. Mayo says, Pathfinder 2e, the main difference is that you need to know is 3 actions per turn. Movement and attacks are action options. Spells cost anywhere from 1 to 3 actions. I like that system a lot better. Sammy says, well, I gotta go. Unfortunately, I have to be up at 5:30. Fuck. For my, funnily enough, my dive tech job. I'm playing safety with the mermaids. Thank you again. Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Have a great night. Congratulations again on the win. Can't wait to see you, and this better make me your favorite. Now, we do have a Taraka deck fortune for Stone Cold North Philly, but I do want to draw one for... Syntactical, even though they're not here. Syntactical, I'm speaking to your ghost right now, but whatever you were seeking, whatever the question was, the answer is the Torturer. Let's see. There you go. It's just a guy holding someone else's arm in a vice. Now we're going to look this up real fast. DV Taraka deck Torturer. Now, the Torturer is the 9 of Swords. It heralds the coming of suffering or merciless cruelty, one who is irredeemably evil or sadistic. I don't think that's referring to you. That might be referring to someone you need to watch out for. I'm not a tarot girly, but that is the vibe of your poll. So sorry. And then Philly, if you have a question, yes, I'd like to ask the cards if it's worth it to buy a ticket to PAX Unplugged. Yeah, of course. Let me pull one for you. While I shuffle, I'll answer the rest of these. Mr. Derp says Pathfinder is basically 3.5. Yeah, and people love 3.5, so I'm here for it. Again, Shazam says, well, now I'm looking at going to PAX Unplugged, lol. I don't know if I can handle Philly cold in December, though. Shit, that's a good point. I didn't think about how cold it was going to be. I do not handle cold well. And also, it's just extra luggage to have to carry around like a winter coat and stuff. Wasteland Ranger, hi! I didn't realize you were here today. Hello. Says Age of Sigmar has a TTRPG called Soulbound. Ooh. That sounds fun. Is it easy to learn? Mayo says, not Pathfinder 2e. Pathfinder 1e is based off 3.5, but open source with infinitely more content. 2e is more like what 1D&D was rumored to end up being. Yeah, are we still on the 1D&D thing? Did anyone actually give that the time of day? Cthulhu says, Swords and Wizardry is a game based on the original 1974 D&D, plus all of its supplements, and it's my preferred way to play Dungeons & Dragons by far. Gotcha. Sephirim says, build a story from the trope. Profit. Yeah. Mr. Derp says, weirdly enough, ChatGPT, if you give it the basis of a story, it can make a really good plots. I did it once just to see, not actually use it for a session, but you can 100% build off of it. I use it for base ideas. I wouldn't have it build the entire plot for you because they tend to be really predictable and very on par with, you know, existing lore, but I would break it down into pieces as much as you can. Veracam says hello. Hello, hello. And D-Boy says hi over on TikTok. If you guys are still vibing on TikTok, definitely come over to Twitch. That is where the fun stuff is happening, such as a Taraka deck fortune. So Stone Cold North Philly, should you go to PAX Unplugged? Is it worth it to buy a badge? The card you pulled is Evoker. I feel like that's a good sign. Let me see if I can pull this up here. It is a woman kind of conjuring over a, it looks like a 6 of stars bedazzled pot. So let's see. The Evoker means... Evoker. A magical or supernatural power that can't be controlled. Magic for destructive ends. It sounds negative, but it also sounds like if you want to let loose and have a vacation and not worry about things for a weekend and just go and hang out and play games with friends, it might be the way to go. Something about being unbridled for just a weekend sounds kind of fun. Or if you're like, shit, this is not a good idea, it sounds dangerous or whatever, maybe don't. But Chelsea, this one's for you. Now, Chelsea Hay says, just to let you know that Bluebeard's Bride is a supernatural horror TTRPG and has an adult content warning. Oh, sign me the fuck up. That sounds cool. I'm a slut for horror TTRPGs. It's based on a dark fairy tale, so keep that in mind when checking it out. If you want to watch an actual play of it, I highly recommend the Gudea one-shot on Nameless Domain's YouTube channel. I would check it out. That sounds super fun. Mike Titan says, Ring of Pyrotechnics. Absolutely. Turfinair says, it would be cool if someone made an Obsidian Vault with 5e tools integrated into it, fully linked. 5e tools exists in a gray area legally, so we try not to talk about it. I won't talk about it on my TikTok for that reason, and I have to delete comments on it, because if we draw attention to it, it will not... things could go bad. And as someone who promotes accessibility in D&D and TTRPGs, I do my best to also operate in the moral gray area alongside them. If that makes sense, I'm happy to be complicit. Okay. Mike Titan says that was Diana yesterday. I can't remember what we're referring to already. Mr. Derp says, so I made 2 weapons that I made with my friends in Homebrew. The world I use is Exandria, Matt Mercer's world. It's a 100% original story, but I was bored of Faerun. Yeah, they've been using Faerun. They've been running into the ground. The Sword Coast needs to be bigger. Things like that. I made my own vestiges of Divergence. Oh, that's awesome! I based them on the characters, like you said. Fun thing is that I have to develop the character as a character to unlock their full potential. Mayo also says, I have a link to the website with most of the rules of PF2E. The character building options are pretty cool if you allow free archetype feats. I don't know anyone who DMs PF2E, though. I feel like if I were to DM something, I would have to know the mechanics in and out. So I could do Dread at this point, because it's really easy to learn. I did it within the day that we played. And then I can do D&D. Beyond that, I need to learn more about it. Otherwise, I don't know anyone who plays Pathfinder, off the top of my head. Turfinator said, I would dropped 1 D&D for my own homebrew. Archives of Nethys has all Pathfinder and Starfinder available. Got it. Mike Titan says, at what point does stealing tropes for D&D become a trope? Oh, it already has. The idea of being a DM and just stealing, plagiarizing all your shit, absolutely. Big thing. We all say it. We all love it. We all do it. All your favorite D&D creators do it. And it's so much fun. And it's a really... People not admitting to the fact that it's so easy to steal ideas from other resources on the internet, in media and whatnot. That's all anyone's been doing since the beginning of time. And people not admitting that that's the way that they get their ideas sometimes is what makes it seem really difficult to get into being a DM. And it makes it seem like you have to be creative to do it. And you really don't in the slightest. I'm the least creative person in existence. I've never written an original thing. I've never had an original thought. Mr. Derp says, I do prefer 5e to Pathfinder for the simplicity. I think it's much more friendly. God, voice crack. It's much more friendly if you're introducing new players to the game. That's my personal view, not saying it's a fact. Gotcha. Cthulhu says, I found a lot of people who start playing D&D with 5e have a lot of assumptions about previous editions that are absolutely wrong. People are convinced that 5e is the lightest and easiest to learn edition of D&D. Yeah, I know that's not true. But it does have the most options, right? Or at least... I can't remember. Seth says the count at 2. For saying I'm a slut for things? Valid. Mike Titan said, Hasbro bringing the hammer down on something? Never. Yeah, we gotta be careful. Morpheus and Volley said, I think a lot of players tend to have the presumption that whatever they learned on is the best or easiest. Which is kind of fun, because like learning on D&D as a TTRPG and having that be your first major TTRPG makes it really easy to learn literally everything else, because D&D is so like meaty with the rules and things like that. So now like the barriers are pretty much gone. And then Machine says, another TTRPG y'all might like is Monster of the Week. It's powered by the Apocalypse that has several tropes, archetypes called playbooks. Quick to learn. I do want to learn it because I hear it's really fun and I want to try it, especially for like an actual play or something. Terminator says 4e is arguably easier than 5e. I started on 2e, went to 4e, and then to Pathfinder, then to 5e. Oh god. Mayo says, the mechanics of PF2E are all on Archives of Nethys. Got it. And then Cthulhu says, half of 5e adventures are stealing from 1e adventures. I think that's due to popular demand. Because the old 1e adventures and the old 2e adventures and things like that, things like Curse of Strahd came from it. I think the entirety of Tales from the Yawning Portal came from it. And it's just fun to have conversions. Because the community can do it themselves. But like it's not guaranteed to be perfect. It's not sanctioned. It's basically homebrew at that point. Let's see. There's a lot here. I need to skip down a little bit to catch up on chat. Mayo says, the biggest changes from PF1E going over to 2E is that 2E allows you to add your level to skills you're proficient in. Oh, I like that. Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot friendlier as action economy and whatnot. Also, Hybrid and Ishi, thank you so much for the follow. Buell says, what's the Taraka thing? So essentially for the maximum amount of, the maximum redeem on this channel for... Oh god, I forget how many sprouts it is, but the channel points here, the more you watch, the more channel points you get, and then eventually you can spend, I think it's over 2,000 of them, it might be 2,100, to have me, you'll ask a question of me in chat, and then I will pull a card from my physical Taraka deck, Taraka deck, and read the interpretation, and use that as like a very light, very friendly, not serious at all sort of like tarot pull to see what the outcome is and what the answer for your question might be. So yeah, that's this. One of you guys also gifted this to me. Amazing. Thank you so much to whoever did that. You also gave me a deck of many things, which I thought about adding as a redeem, but there's no real way to interpret those beyond just you die or you don't. Cthulhu says, 1 D&D is the only D&D. There are no other editions, and WotC has the Pinkertons to make sure you can't prove them wrong. Hey, I worked with WotC once. I can't say shit. Yeah. Okay. Nerdboy says, alrighty, homies, work's about to pick up, so I gotta head out. Thank you for all the info. Congrats again to all the winners. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. Tripinair says, the only campaign I took to 20 as a player was literally the plot of a popular anime. I'm not even an anime guy. I can't remember which. Didn't care. Evil needed fighting. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people don't care. Because they're in it with the expectation that they are going to be playing some sort of, video game type game. They're in it and they're willing to suspend some, the suspension of disbelief in order to follow a plot line is really strong. And people can take advantage of that, which is really nice. Okay, let's see. There's a lot about anime here. Dragness says, time to jump off. Game about to start. Rolling a blade singing / hexblade. That sounds fun. Mayo says, I can tell you more about Pathfinder off stream if you'd like. Maybe later on. I don't have a motivation to learn about it right now because no one knows plays it, but at some point, possibly. Seth says, I'm starting to think it should be a catalog rather than a daily counter. Today we had a fantasy settings and horror TTRPGs. There could be a whole archive. Oh yeah. Cthulhu says, oh my gosh. So what you're saying is that the WotC Assassin... Okay, look, I can't talk about this anymore. Hybrid says, Blade Singers are fun as a Warlock player. That's always my backup. I haven't played a Warlock yet. I kind of want to, but I got other... I really am not on the other side of the DM screen much. SD-Man says, get Richten's Guide to Ravenloft for $12 today on Amazon. You mean this? Van Richten's Guide to Raven... No, this is Tales from the Yawning Portal. Hold on. You mean this Van Richten's? Yeah, I got it from when I started running Curse of Strahd. Anytime I run a campaign, I need the physical book on hand to access maps more easily, because that's one of the very few things that I don't change in my campaigns. And so, Eternal Drifting says hello. Hi, welcome in. Turfinator says, just made a wizard today. He uses a dueling pistol as a wand and shoves his spellcasting components into it to cast spells. That's kind of cool. That's a really cool idea, actually. Okay. Ned Yan says, have a good night. Are you heading off? Good night. Mayo says, I play it, but I don't DM it. Also trying to convince Alec and Chris to look into it too, because no one plays it due to too few creators jumping on board with it. Yeah, I don't know. Most people are, at least you're also asking D&D players to play Pathfinder. At a certain point, it might be a selection bias. Mad Cat V, thank you so much for the follow. SC Man says, no, I got it today for myself. Oh, solid, that's awesome. Dude, that is a sale. That's awesome. As far as Ravenloft goes, it gives you a lot of inspo. I wouldn't use any of the things like directly from it though. It doesn't have a whole lot of substance for actual campaigns or anything like that. It gives you settings, but very loosely. It's like a page each. So it kind of depends on where you want to go with it, but it's good to have on hand. For House of Lament alone, it can be pretty cool. Turfinator says, Warlock is perfect. It's almost not bad at everything. It comes with a free Glock. I mean Eldritch Blast. Morpheus and Polly says, in an effort to make a Dark Urge character in Baldur's Gate 3 that feels irredeemable and believable, I was able to create a serviceable Beavis. He can create Firebolt at will, high elf racial ability, and has big yellow hair. I've never watched Beavis and Butthead, if that's the reference. I think it's before my time. Vera Cam says, what's your favorite class? Easily Druid. It's got roleplay opportunities, it's a tank sometimes, it's got spellcasting, it's easy to learn, you get access to all the spells in your spell list. I fucking love it. So good. I resist the temptation to play Druid every single time I play D&D, which has been like twice, because I'm usually a DM. Mayo says, I've been asking Pathfinder players to try it, and they're all like, what the fuck is this action economy? It's gonna be garbage. Why would I ever do this? Oh, interesting. SC Man says, yeah, I'm using it as a reference for my Strahd campaign. Perfect. Yeah, it does build a lot off Strahd campaigns, especially with the extra like options for a horror setting. Amazing. Highly recommend. Hybrid Nishi says, yeah, I started in 3.5 as a player, but I've been locked as Forever DM for 5e and run a game every 2 weeks, but get to play with my core group once a month when we can. Yeah. So I'm running what's called a West Marches style campaign that like kind of gets around the trouble of scheduling. I was going to make a video on it at some point, but I'll probably do that sooner rather than later. Although my D&D video today got pretty popular, so I hope I might have to follow up with some more. It's always weird, the balance of like, oh shit, I gotta post more of this content right now because it happens to be trending on my page and things like that. I don't know. Mike Titan says Life Cleric and Devotion Paladin, aka Party Babysitter. Valid. Turfinator says I'm open to play P2E as long as I can play super unoptimized. Dude, I love unoptimized characters. I don't think I've ever made an optimized character in my life. It's a lot of fun because then you go with the theme, you go with the role playing. You're not there for the combat necessarily, and most of the game isn't going to be combat. You're going to spend a fuck ton of time not fighting things actively and building for fun encounters and having fun in what is arguably going to be over 70% of the campaign is like way better in my opinion. The Schmetsky said, is that rosé or Kool-Aid? This is cranberry vodka with Sprite. I don't have a whole lot of mixers right now. I don't have groceries right now. So that's why whoever sent me this orange chicken, you are feeding me for like the next 2 days. Because I don't eat a whole lot, but I haven't had time to go get groceries since literally before Big Bad Con. So I think we're coming up on a month now of me just eating leftovers and then also eggs. Let's see. Okay. So SD Man says, just put it in an order at my local print shop for maps for my campaign. Oh, awesome! And then Mayo says, most Pathfinder players I've asked are too stuck up about it being broken. When PF1E is significantly more broken, I got to try the 5e crowd. Pathfinder systems and D&D systems are just slowly getting closer and closer in similarity. That's fair, which is kind of nice. Turfinator says, I run a rotating DM campaign. Oh, those are the best. Where I ran the first story arc, and I'll be running the last one. PCs are splitting up across the planes to track down artifacts. Oh, that sounds so cool, especially because you actually get to like explore different planes. That's cool. Having like the opportunity to naturally go into other planes of existence and go into different worlds, as long as the DMs are down for like the difficulty of setting all those worlds up. For a player, it's fucking awesome. Because a lot of times people will go entire campaigns or entire like lifetimes of playing the game and not set foot off the material plane or their prime world or whatever. So I like that. And I do wish D&D made it a little easier to explore other worlds, because they really kind of lack in that aspect unless you go to, you know, Barovia or whatever, or whatever happens in Spelljammer. But more people need to take advantage of that. Seth says you need to eat real food. I ate real food yesterday. Random Addison sent me some salads. And I had that for lunch today too, and it was really good actually. It was a really solid salad. And it was like a chicken skewer too. That was healthy. Okay. Machine says Tales from the Loop uses a dice pool d6 where 6 is a success. It's super simple. Oh, awesome. Horror elements with conspiracy, shady government organizations. Amazing. Wasteland Ranger says I'll be running a big Eberron campaign. I don't like Eberron only because I hate modern settings. Which is fully on me. That's just a me thing. I don't know. Morpheus and Volley says optimization for multiclassing and whatnot was something I was worried about when I was young, and I thought the game was about me. The game is about the table. It is, yeah. And honestly, that's my biggest gripe as someone who is a DM. And like, one of the reasons that I say that people who are DMs make excellent players, and I was gonna make a video about this. This is one of like 3 or 4 reasons, besides the fact that we know the rules and all that, and we can make combat go a lot quicker just by virtue of that, is that we can move things along outside of combat really well with roleplay, and we also know when to give up the spotlight. Like, generally DMs will not, good DMs, will know when to share the spotlight with other players. And so us not taking over scenes. So for instance, when I was playing Dread, I didn't do a lot of stuff. And the major reason for that was because we had actual role players who have been in actual plays essentially in the past who deserved more of the spotlight. Also, just like letting them do their thing, because people hear me talk plenty when I'm playing. Like, and I know you guys don't see that because my games aren't televised, but like I just prefer to let other people have the spotlight because I don't mind, and it's just fun sometimes. So that's why DMs make really good players. And we have fucking amazing ideas for characters too. Holy shit. Terminator says Warlock, Druid, Cleric, and Paladin offer the most fun out of combat encounters for me, TBH, and why I keep coming back to them. My Adventurers League Warlock only shows up on boss fights. My DM wants me there to make sure that they live. Ooh. But that's like once a year for an hour. Random Aston says, dear Lord girl, get you a boy that cooks for you, or at least friends that love cooking. I love cooking. I do it for myself. I just like, I'm out and about a lot. Here's the thing, on the first half of the week, I wake up, I go to work, I stream for you guys. Usually that like overlaps with my work day. Like I start streaming at 4 my time, and so I like spend the last hour of the day just like, either I make up for it by working through my lunch hour, or I just make up the hour later in the week for work. And then I stream for you guys usually until the end of the night, and then I go to bed and I wake up and I do the same thing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursdays, I'm usually hanging out with friends. It's like my hangout day when we happen to be the most free. Fridays, I'm every other Friday either playing D&D, and every day that I'm not playing D&D, I'm usually going out of town for something. And so there's just no time for me to cook anymore, but I really want to, which is kind of why one of the ideas I had for this stream was to do a cooking stream, which I actually got the cookbook for, by the way. One of you guys donated to get me Heroes Feast, the D&D cookbook, and so we're going to be cooking from that as soon as I get set up. The lovely Dracobane, I believe, is sending me a DSLR to like actually get a camera set up for, oh god, I don't know how I'm going to hook it up to my computer because my kitchen's way the fuck on the other side of the apartment, but eventually I do want to do a cooking stream because that'll give me a chance to actually eat and not have you guys have to buy it for me all the time. But I do immensely appreciate when you buy me food, because otherwise I probably would not eat very much, and I am rapidly losing weight. But yeah, turns out the best diet is just be a streamer. I hope this music's okay. I'm a slut for chill step, so. Seth, there's another one for you. Mike Zombie 95, thank you so much for the follow. Okay, what was I? SD Man says the only non-charisma based character I play is my turtle chronology wizard named Timek. High charisma characters are fun, but I have trouble playing them because I, again, don't want to like dominate speech and things like that. More Wisdom Polly says, how do you work a multiple DM stories arc together into an overarching plot when DM 1, 2, and 3 don't all have the same story elements / villains / etc.? That one's hard. I've never personally encountered that. I would say like working it out with the DMs or making it so that they don't like interweave with each other the whole time, but at the very end, all the pieces come together at once. So that way you guys as DMs have a way to like speak to each other and make it work at the very end without spoiling things in the meantime. That's the only way I can think of to do it properly. There might be better guidance somewhere else. But other than that, maybe just having like a general overarching plot line plotted ahead of time, and then making it so that when you hand off this different sessions to the DM, being like, okay, this is going to be your player's goal. It's going to be the handle of this weapon. You know, and then going to DM number 2 and being like, this is going to be your player's goal. It's going to be this runic tablet. Going to player DM 3 and being like, this is going to be your player's goal. I don't care how you do it, but this needs to be the goal. They need to have this by the end of the session. And then at the very end, bringing it all together. That's the only way I can think of to do it. SZ Man says, can't be natural 17 AC as a wizard. Well, not with that attitude. And Mike Titan says, all food is real food if you believe. Yeah, that's the attitude. It's all calories. And or alcohol. Maya says, when is something broken in PF20? It's a build with teamwork feats, so 2 people gotta do it. That lets you and them attack together for a total of 24 times per round and almost always goes first? Shit, dude. That kind of sounds fun, but also it sounds like you would get ejected from a game for doing that. I know you would in D&D. Terminator says, to work the story together, each other DM is given 3 pages of stuff for them to use. I got a rulebook that they match homebrew to. Oh, that's a good idea, yeah. And then when I'm a player, I'm limited to playing basically an NPC and always a native to the plane that they were tracking an artifact down on. Basically a chauffeur, which can still be fun. Honestly, I kind of like I've played a DMPC enough times, by which I mean like twice, that it's a lot of fun. And like, if you do it right and you know your limits and you know to not dominate things, again, coming back to the whole idea of if you're a DM in a game, don't take over everything. Let your players do things, you know, don't do everything for them. As long as you're following those rules, you can have a lot of fun just as a DMPC. More reveals and Molly says, one thing I love about Eberron is Warforged. As a concept, however, you want to reflavor them. Oh, as a concept, however you want to reflavor them, imbuing souls into constructs. Yeah, and what people forget about Warforged too is that they're bionic constructs as well. Like, they have biotic pieces. It's not just like a full-on robot. It's a robot fused with like living pieces of wood or flesh or something like that. Maybe not flesh, but like it is living. And I feel like that can kind of be played with a little bit, like the materials that you use in your Warforged. And the fact that it is connected to something that is not just inanimate pieces is a really cool idea. And I always allow other races and like modern races like Warforged in my campaigns. I just either reskin them or have them have some sort of backstory that makes it make sense for a fantasy setting. Turfinator says, when I'm a player, I'm limited to playing... Oh, right, I read that already. Mike Titan says, also, when you're a DM playing as a player, you also have to know when to push buttons when provided. Yes. So that's the thing, picking up on plot points that your DM lays down and that none of the other players seem to pick up on, but as a DM, also, your DM brain is like, shit, this sounds like it could be something. Like, I am gonna be in some things coming up that I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about yet, but as a DM doing a character creation process, creating a character and being like, okay, here's all the ways that this DM can hurt me, and then here's all the ways that this character arc could go, and like building in ways for my DM, because I'm also a forever DM, so I know exactly the different things that they could use that I would love as a DM for my characters to hand me. So me being able to hand all that to someone else and make essentially a fucking nice gift wrapped, like perfect plot character for a DM is so satisfying. Clever says, have a good night, y'all. Looking forward to the next stream. And PAX, yes! Thank you. Congratulations again, and have a great rest of your night. I think you DM'd me. If not, I'll DM you. And Buyer says, I'm the forever DM of my group. The rare times I play... Oh, El Juancho Doctor? Thank you so much for following. And Buyer says, I'm the forever DM of my group. The rare times I play, my character is a follower, so everyone else can drive the story and be the main focus. Absolutely. Yeah. Idea Machines says, agreed, DMs can make great players. There's some horror stories out there to the contrary. Yeah. I feel like that has more to do with the personality, though. As a category, DMs make really good players. But any chance to be a player is way dope. It would be nice to be one person for a while, right? Exactly. Hybrid Nishi says, isn't it great when players really get into a scene? Occasionally I'll sit back and enjoy the scene and then go, oh shit, this is good. Wait for this. This is a good part to twist a knife or drop some lore. Yeah, honestly, I love it mostly because it lets me sit back and drink water or eat food. Because again, I play D&D like right after or overlapping with work, and it's another time where I just straight up don't have a chance to eat and stuff. And so they'll be role playing and I'm just over here just like scarfing down food. Mr. Derp says, some of the stuff out of Heroes Feast is really good. I want the Exandria one next. Yeah, so I was gonna get, fuck, what's the expansion called? That's gonna be a dono goal when I'm done doing the PAX U stream, so tomorrow probably. But getting, like, the expansion to it, I think would be awesome. Also, because I'm a slut for completing collections, and that would be, like, part of completing the collection. Mike Titan says, I love it when you finally get your hooks into a player that doesn't normally RP and get them to do it. Yeah! Which is hard, and a lot of people ask me, like, how do I get my players to RP? And really, you can't. You just kind of have to show them the ropes. It's also not necessary in D&D. How do I put this? In D&D, you can make it so that your players don't have to roleplay. Like, if you're playing with people who are used to playing Monopoly, they're probably not going to want to get into the whole, like, I fucking draw my sword and hold it to his throat and look him down the edge. I don't know, that sort of stuff. But you can also just have it so that NPCs go up to the players and then you can communicate with them by saying, oh yeah, the old woman tells you that her son has been missing for 3 days. And just like basically narrate from a high level perspective what that person is saying without actually saying it in character, and give them the freedom to do the same, because not all of them are comfortable with that sort of thing, and that helps them like D&D without feeling too much pressure to be like the best role player in the world or a voice actor. El Mingus, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Terminator says they always put me in charge, so I balance that by not talking as much. Great. I usually do like mute characters too. That helps. I only RP talking in combat or when prompted by a player or NPC. Otherwise, I'm usually silent. That's fair. And Terminator says, basically, I'm a mom. Yeah. Mike Zombie says, if I sent you food, will my food be consumed tonight on stream? I could eat like a bite of it. You can also wait till tomorrow. I'm streaming tomorrow as well. But I believe the treat stream has a 2-hour cooldown, so that way I want to just set it to shorter, because again, these are like my groceries. This is all I'm surviving off of right now. So it helps a ton. Anything helps. I think the cooldown might not be done yet though. You'd have to check. The link is down below, or it pops up with stream elements every once in a while. You'll have to see. It also depends on what's being sent, but at the very least I'll have a bite and then get to eat it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner tomorrow, which would be exciting. I love leftovers, man. Seth says, oh, I got it. Chill step on the list. Thank you. Thanks, Seth. If you gather this all into like a word cloud or something, that'd be the best fucking thing. Wasteland Ranger says, if you do get to play Age of Sigmar, I can paint stuff for you. Oh, I appreciate that. I have seen some really cool color palettes with armies in those games, and I think that's awesome. Like, I saw one that was like a Sakura type color palette where it was like mostly pinks and then blues to emulate a specific picture that someone had taken of a cherry blossom tree, which was awesome. Mayo says, I secretly love cooking, but I don't want my friends to know because I'm not great at it and want to get better first. It's like that guy from High School Musical. Secretly loves cooking, but wants to be a badass, like, you know, basketball player or whatever. No, what's his name? Fuck, I forget his name. It's been forever since I've seen High School Musical. Someone correct me. Vericam says, I just realized you have a Baldur's Gate Let's Play on YouTube. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah, so I'm streaming that every Monday is my Dark Urge like Cordon Bleu. Yeah, that's what I think of, because the name is similar, right? Fuck, I know this guy. I don't know him. But Corbin Blue, that's his name. Thank you, Mike. But yeah, what was I saying? Yes, so anyway, on Mondays from 4 to 6, I basically just do this. It's just chatting stream, D&D advice as needed, talking about things that are coming up, talking about geek and content creator, just chatting, connecting with the audience, and then on 6 o'clock onward, we play a Dark Urge Oathbreaker Paladin full evil playthrough. We are doing all the choices that people would not normally do in their first run through, and it is my first run through, so we're doing blind evil shit on Mondays, and on Wednesdays I'm playing Baldur's Girlies, which is the yassified, girly pop, pinkified, Barbie themed version of Baldur's Gate with myself and 2 other creators. So there's 2 streams going on, but everything is up on YouTube if you wanted to catch up. It's just a lot of hours of gameplay is the only thing. Palpatine's Fist, oh my gosh, let's wait, hold on, I gotta catch up properly. Hybrid Nishi says, have you had that throwaway NPC that your players just latch onto, so you have to promote them or keep them around? Thankfully not yet. I expect it to happen soon though. SD Man says, one thing our DM implements is that we can combine attacks/spell effects, but if one person fails to roll, the whole attack, sword, or spell fails. Holy shit. That's high stakes. Ranger says, the only living parts of Warforged are wood. Not sure where the bionics outside of that came from. I forget why. Maybe I have it wrong? I also have only read this off of like online sources because I don't have the Eberron source book. Also, Hybrid Anishi, thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. Good to have ya. Morpheus and Polly says, I crave the days of DM that a DM lets me do a Warforged because I love the idea of trying to find its way in the world, but everyone's like, no Eberron, and I'm like, what's an Eberron? Yeah, I get that. I feel like people are a little harsh on like restricting settings for the sake of, or restricting different source books for the sake of campaign settings and maintaining it. I get it for things like guns, but for things like different character options, I'm like, yeah, everything exists. Who cares? Sure, there's minotaurs in the Sword Coast. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, fine. You can play a fucking whatever. What are the other Ravnica shits? The blue guys, the blue man group, but as a race. Those guys. I let those exist. No one's ever chosen one, but you know. Mayo says, to avoid becoming a forever DM, I only ever run fairly high-level one-shots instead of campaigns. That's a lot of fun, but I feel like campaigns are just better for the community aspect of it, if you can get people together for it. Mr. Nick says, I had an interesting DMPC moment. My DM was starting a new job, so I filled in for him while he was gone. Turned my character pretty much into an NPC and wrote the character out because my intent was bringing back a new character once my DM came back. That's a lot of fun, and I love it when DMs allow people to switch out their characters like that. I feel like it's a necessity as a DM, especially if you're doing a long-running campaign. If your characters fall out of love with who they're playing, they're gonna fall out of love with the campaign. Please, for the love of God, let your character, your players switch their loadout, essentially. Let them retire characters if they want to kill off their character in a really heroic way. Vidalkin, thank you, Seth. Those are the ones. Yeah, let them do it because it is their story and they should be able to play it and enjoy it to the maximum ability that they can. Ranger says, I get a lot of... Oh, wait. Where am I at? Seth says, completing collections. Got it. Thanks, Seth. Machine says, open spots in a backstory is an invitation to the DM to work with you on filling in those spots. An awesome gift to receive. Yeah, absolutely. It's just amazing and it's easy and they give you the keys to their heart, essentially. Turfinator says, my favorite campaign I ran, nobody RP'd. We only did combat and dungeon delving at the table. Still the best plot without any voices, character talking, etc. Yeah, and sometimes a good dungeon delve is just straight up necessary. It's just a lot of fun. Like Dungeon of the Mad Mage, I would only ever run that as like a, all right, bitches, let's drink and let's see how far we can get through this sort of thing, you know? And I'm sure I could run it normally too, but I just don't have the patience. But there's a place for it. Oh, Morpheus and Folly, thank you so much for the subscription. I think we're also close to a hype train. Again, I still gotta work out what exactly that fucking means, but, awesome. All right, and I think 3 of the winners have sent me their info too, so we're well on our way. We've got 2 more that I need to reach out to. Anyway, back to it. Mike Titan says, I lean into their interests and feed into their shenanigans, and they tend to respond well for RPing. Like when they do a weird voice and you give them an advantage for intimidation. Oh my god, okay, yeah. That's a lot of fun. Using like different flavors of intimidation, I feel like people forget is an option. So instead of making it so intimidation is strength-based or dexterity-based, you can make it so it's arcana-based. If they want to demonstrate like particular control over a spell and threaten someone with a spell, I let them do that. It's a lot of fun to like play with different roles essentially, and let them play to their strengths RP-wise, and then let that affect the dice that they roll. Turfinator says, biggest thing about my setting is that it's set in the far future and is effectively cyberpunk. So when I play a PsyOp non-D&D player into... When I PsyOp a non-D&D player into playing, I advertise it as just a board game. That's funny. I like that. Dracoplays says, Zeke is the cook in HSM. Thank you. Yes, that's the guy. Turfinator says, I think about bed on it every day. Fucking... God, I was such a high school musical nerd when I was a kid. I remember I went to Build-A-Bear once and they had like a thing that was like a, oh my god, it was, what did they call it? A collaboration with Disney for High School Musical. And so I went there and I made a High School Musical themed Build-A-Bear. And it came with like a little HSM shirt and it had on its foot, it was just a normal teddy bear basically, but it had like a red shirt for the Wildcats colors, and then on its foot it had Mike Tyson says sword, don't set it off, dude, I swear to God. It had like the High School Musical logo on the foot, and I got made fun of for that. I was in like 4th grade. Why? It's a perfectly normal thing for a 4th grader to like High School Musical. Am I crazy? Should I have been made fun of? Anyway, Seth says, oh, say Age of Sigmar is fine, but 40k is like, what if Dark Urge? But it's the entire universe. That'd be fun. Mayo says, I'm 100% just like Corbin Blue and HSM, except I don't care to be a badass anymore, just good at something. I feel like competency is such a good thing to have. I love it. Morpheus and Polly says, how's Oathbreaker work in Baldur's Gate 3? You lose access to all magic, any benefit? You get different, it works the same as 5e, so essentially you still have access to your lay on hands and things like that, but your channel divinities change. So you have just like a different set of them and a different set of spells that you can choose from. But yeah, it falls very close to the source material. Seth says you don't have a Discord yet, do you? I do not. And Aladile, thank you so much for popping in. It's good to see you again. Welcome back. Morpheus and Polly said, oh yeah, I once had a player fireball his own PC to death with his new PC. Let them enjoy themselves. That sounds fun. Having a new PC, oh my god, wait, that's so genius. Having like an old PC either turn evil and have a new PC who's good come in and kill them, or having an old PC be good but a new PC be like evil or morally neutral and have a really good reason for killing them off and then stepping into their shoes. That's such a good idea. That's really cool. If you can pull that off, that'd be sick. Especially because you can roleplay, not tell the party that that's happening, and then roleplay, you know, give the DM the character sheet and be like, all right, play this character, and then when you're ready, I'll step into their shoes. And then the voice just changes. All of a sudden you realize, holy shit, this is the person sitting next to me. Awesome. I live for that shit. Mike Titan says, that was my buddy, Eric. He would basically be like, here's a future NPC you can use. I love that. Terminator says, my last DM switch, my friend chose to have his PC get killed off in an assassination, then we switched seats. Oh, that's so cool. The other players didn't know that could happen and it was a fun moment. Yeah. Anything that's like an oh shit moment for players is like, fuck, dude, that's what we live for. Machine says, drunk dungeoneering. Love that. I will play D&D drunk any day. It's so much fun. Morpheus Molly says, I'll gladly tell you what Hype Train is, where I know what the F that is. I got a contact at Twitch that I should really ask about the mechanics of this sort of shit. Mayo says it's just a bunch of dono subs follows just to make people continue the train, I guess. Flint says, what is your number one piece of advice for a first time DM? Easily, don't worry about the rules. Don't worry about like memorizing them all. If in the moment you need to come up with something, you can ask your players for the rules. So for instance, if you're like, shit, this guy fell off a 60-foot cliff. How do I know how much damage he takes? You can spend 30 minutes looking through the index of the DMG if you want to, or you can just turn to the people across from you at the table and be like, hey, do any of you guys remember what fall damage is? And they'll peer review each other. They'll like check each other. It's very rare, unless you're playing with a table full of assholes, that they'll like lie to you. So don't be afraid to ask them the rules. I ask my players the rules all the time. I play for other DMs, and so half the time when I'm like, hey guys, is this how inspiration works? They'll be like, yes or no. And then they'll be like, oh, also, but there's this homebrew rule that you can use, that a lot of people use, and things like that. So please, for the love of God, don't try and memorize all the rules. You can honestly DM with just the knowledge you have as a player, very successfully. Don't put too much pressure on the nitty gritty. Except when it comes to balance, maybe be careful about that, but there's calculators for that. Hyperdonishi says, I had just had a planned death where a player wanted to test out Blood Hunter, but now his rogue will be found with a memory wipe. So whenever they find the town he washed up in, with the possibility to recover and get his character back. And yes, he had an off-screen death. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, this is a whole paragraph trying to skip past it so I can catch up again. The sharp-haired Build-A-Bear was goated. I can't remember that, but God, that was not the one I had. Mike Titan says, something easy to hate on, like Nickelback, Beeper, boy bands. Yes, the Holy Trinity. Morpheus and Polly says, yeah, their new PC was introduced, saving the party with a fireball, but killed their old PC in the process. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, Scott, can you pull out a new sheet for me? Tell it, that is such a power play, dude. I fucking love that. Just being like, all right. And then like taking their character sheet, ripping it up in front of them, having them walk away from the table, and then come back in like a, I don't know, glasses and mustache with a new character sheet would be so funny. Chelsea says, I remember for a D&D one shot I played a Tiefling Bard / monk that's a pole dancer. Oh, sick. Bard, like, changes flavor-wise are so cool, like dancing and things like that are awesome. She spins on her spear when doing Flurry of Blows. I love that. Trolls ZTV says, I got the privilege of killing a clone of my own previous PC in Tomb of Annihilation. Nice! Love it when you as a player get surprised by other players, says Mike Titan, and the DM collabing to do something cool. Oh yeah, so that was my video today, actually. I was talking about how, I said this before, like 20 minutes ago, but how when you have an entwined backstory with another player, you can make it so that the other player thinks something of you, right? And then you go to the DM and you're like, actually, my player has this secret the other person doesn't know. And then watch that unfold. Or even planning to do some sort of character arc, which this is a little shitty, and you shouldn't do that unless you're absolutely sure that they'd be okay with it, but planning to do like an enemies to lovers thing, and then going to your DM and being like, this person thinks I'm doing an enemies to lovers, we're actually just gonna stay enemies, or I'm gonna be lovers with this other person, and then get around to that arc, or something like that, where you work with the DM to betray, or have a secret from, or otherwise like do something unexpected to another player who thinks they know everything about you. God, it's so cool. So cool. I love it. Turfinator says, I have an NPC who has 17 clones. Jesus Christ, how? So it's a running gag on whether or not they are talking to the real one or a clone. Plot twist, the real one is dead. So like a fucking, what's her name? Nurse Joy situation? Morpheus Valley says the DM's job isn't to be the rule master, it's to be the rules referee in times of dispute, if any. They say, I agree. Send the players rule hunting when needed, especially if they cause the complicated rule check. Yeah, so there's a video I saw not too long ago, and I forgot to repost it, but it's like someone saying that they have a designated rules lawyer at their table. And so that way, they like, you know, basically there's some designated person that's like, hey, I need to know how this spell interacts with this spell in the turn order, and then they have to look it up, you know. Alrighty. Chelsea Hayes says, okay, I have to go to bed now. It's 4 a.m. here in the UK. Bye, everyone, and take care. Have a good night, Chelsea. Thanks for popping in. Turfinator says, every clone is leveled into a different class, too. Holy shit. The OG was a wizard. That makes sense. I can't imagine another way to do that. Well, we're an hour over. That might be a good time to kind of hop off for the night. Does anyone have any last lingering questions before I scarf down this mildly cold Panda Express? I might go heat it up. I'll just drink until someone says something. Mike says to roll the potion d20. All right, yeah, I can do that. One for the road, you got it. Alrighty. Last call for the potion d20. For those who don't remember, the potion d20 was donated by the lovely Dragon's Nest Delivery. That is presented here. I'm gonna open up this box. There's a d20 there. It's a little easy to see now that it's all settled. Here we are. So, Mike, for whatever your next endeavor is, you have rolled a 6. We're back to shitty rolls on the potion d20. I'm so sorry. I should lower the price on this one. Sorry. Seth says, yes, when will you DM an actual play session? It's going to be a while, but I've got some thoughts. If I DM an actual play, I'm working with some companies on some things. Hint, hint, it might not be on Twitch. Twitch is not super friendly to actual plays. It's not the most friendly. Which is the reason that I do a lot of streams that aren't actual plays here. I'm going to be in other people's actual plays on Twitch, though. I will let you guys know as soon as those happen. But for right now, the biggest one is going to be next week on Tuesday. I believe it's at 4 o'clock Pacific time or 4:30, where we're going to be playing the lovely Madaloon is going to be GMing a Monster Hearts campaign for us. So if you're in for those of you guys who don't know, Monster Hearts straight up has a sex mechanic. You should tune in. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be unhinged and really messy, and it's like you play teenagers who are all like horny and like gossipy and like antagonistic to each other. It's so fucking fun. Also, Mike just gifted 5 tier 1 subs to everyone. Holy shit. Thank you so much. And Random Aston just cheered 1,000 bits and said, enjoy your night. Thanks for speed talking while I study heart rhythms. Oh, well, I'm glad that it wasn't too disruptive. Aston, was it you who sent me the Panda Express today, too, by the way? Like, I need to know. I don't know who it was. No one ever came forward. In any case, if any of you guys bought me food, thank you immensely. I owe you my life. And thank you, Mike, for the 5 gifted subs. Also, I saw someone ask a question. Oh my gosh. Let me scroll back up here real fast. Here we go. Mayo says raise the price for it. Goodness. And then Morpheus asked, why does Panda Express's lo mein taste better than most Chinese restaurants? I think it's something to do with the oil. It's gotta be, right? Tesselhoff says, no questions. Enjoy the warmed up panda in your night. You too. And Hybrid Nishi says, damn, back to work. Fair. Yeah. All right. Well, have a good rest of your night. El Mingus says, kick streams. Woo. And then Seth says, also you need some mods in a Discord so that I can engage more. I will work on it eventually. I think it will go Diana being a streamer, Diana being in other people's actual plays, Diana starting a Discord, and then Diana DMing actual plays somewhere. Which will be a ways off because that's so much more investment, and I'm already like ignoring my day job to do this sort of stuff with a new streaming schedule. So once I get settled into that, that's when we'll unlock the next tier of being a content creator, but it's a ways away. Mayo says, have you considered doing a community one-shot every so often as a community building thing? Not so much, only because it's... Maybe someday, as like a really high dono goal or something, if I ever become like a long-term, like full-time content creator, only because one-shots take a long time for me to make because I'm very in-depth with them. I go full theatrics on them. Even though I'm not playing them for anyone right now, like on a public platform, I still make it like a full experience as best I can. And so it takes a lot of time, more time than I have. Turfinator says, I can never DM an AP. I get too anxious, I think. I think you get you over it a little pretty quick when you're a content creator, so I think that's my saving grace there. Mike says, I'm done for the night. Have fun. Thank you so much for your help, Mike. I appreciate everything you've done, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, hopefully. Random Aston says, no, that wasn't me. I bet it was Mike. Maybe. Mike never admitted to it, but either way, Random, thank you for the salad yesterday, too. I had it for lunch today, and so big fan of food in general. Flint says, thank you so much for the PAX badge. Have a great night. Also, I want to do Palpatine's Fist's Taraka fortune, but they didn't ask a question. So real quick, Palpatine, also congrats on the win, dude. You got the Horseman. Let's see. It is just, the white balance is fucking awful. It is a person riding on a horse through the night, essentially, holding a candle. It is oh no, oh god, it's a skeleton, and they're not holding a candle, they're holding a sword. It's a threat. Whoops. So, for that, the Horseman is like a, what do they call it? A face card? A high deck? I believe it is? Yeah, high deck. It means death. Disaster in the form of loss of wealth or property, a horrible defeat, or the end of a bloodline. Please remember that this is not a proper fortune. I am not a licensed Taraka deck reader or a fortune teller. Palpatine says I was supposed to ask a question. We can do a wash. You can do another one if you want. Oh, Corvo64 says, I sent you the panda. I just assumed my name would pop up. I hope you enjoyed it. I am enjoying it. Thank you so much for popping in. This is also your first time chatting? Hi. Well, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that immensely. It's like, I put Panda on there a while ago, and it's honestly like one of my favorite things. Because again, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I haven't had Panda since college. And so this is like, oh, it's so exciting. But thank you so much for the food. I appreciate that immensely. Flint says, thank you so much for the PAX badge. Have a great night. Yeah, of course. And then Socrates says, have a good night. Been listening while playing Baldur's Gate 3, but I got to get to bed. All right, well, have a good night as well. Turfinator says, divide and conquer with other content creators. Yeah, can do. It's helped my friend launch his community while he worked full-time. Now he's a full-time content creator. I think that's what I'm on, because I'm scheduled to do a bunch of collabs with a bunch of other people that I don't know if I can talk about yet. But it's kind of like doing stuff for exposure, I guess. But like in a good way, because I'm having fun and they're my friends. Seth says, maybe a let's play of D&D where we vote on roles. Maybe. Palpatine's Fist says, maybe it's not as bad of an omen as it seems, seeing as I'm planning on moving soon. So it could represent then like the death of your old life and your old residence in a transition, I imagine. I'm getting really earthy, like, ooh, with it, but maybe. Aladial says, I gotta head out too. Have a great night. Yeah, of course. Have a great night as well. And Senor Bonky says, fun night. Was working late and this was nice in the background. Yeah, and if you want, let me see if there's anyone else we can raid. James is doing a just chatting night, and I might listen in on there while I'm munching on this lovely food from Corvo. Thank you so much. Smokey Wan says, you are a gift. Thank you. You guys are gifts. You guys are amazing. We had a fuck ton of people hanging out this stream too. Corvo says, so few people know my name came from Dishonored. Oh yeah, you're among friends here. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's raid James. I'm gonna hang out in his chat, just vibing for a while, so feel free to hang in there if you need something to listen to. I guarantee he's just doing push-ups on the floor of his van or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and start this raid. In the meantime, thank you all so much. I will reach out to the winners of the giveaway for PAX U, and in any case, I will be back tomorrow with Baldur's Girlies, and before that, a Just Talking pre-stream. So let's go say hi to James, and have a good night, guys. And then I'm gonna end all this. Good night, TikTok. Have a wonderful time. Yes, I do want to end my stream, TikTok. Fuck's sake. And then OBS, let's end all this shit. God, ending streams is always, there's so many things to end. Have a good night, guys.